Hello, welcome aboard to the AM News. My name is Denise Yapomaije. The National Association of Ghanaian Communities in Nigeria has called on the government of Ghana and Nigeria to intervene in the ongoing dispute involving Ghanaian-owned company Jonah Capital and authorities in Abuja. The association, after visiting the River Park estate, said it had observed destruction of the Ghanaian company, including the clubhouse and other structures, while other companies within the estate continue to operate without disruption. Nagacon said it is concerned that actions against the company are taking place while a related ownership dispute is before the court, warning that the situation could affect the safety of Ghanaians connected to the company and strain relations between both countries.
Members of the media, friends and members of the general public, we bring you greetings from Nagacon, the Association of Ghanaians living and doing business in all 36 states of Nigeria. Before you today is the executive committee of our association. We have traveled from different parts of the country for two specific objectives. One first objective, our objective is to ascertain at first hand the incidents that have occurred in Jonah Capital River Park Estate. We have had the opportunity to visit the gallery, clubhouse, and various sites, including the gatehouse and other structures belonging to Jonah Capital, to witness the destruction for ourselves. We have observed that several other companies continue to operate undisturbed within the River Park Estate, with the exception of Jonah Capital. We have also observed the various walls that have been erected around properties belonging to Jonah Capital. This leads us to our second objective, which is to stand in solidarity with Jonah Capital for what they have endured and continue to endure. We are aware of the challenges Jonah Capital has faced since last year, when a police investigation wrongly accused the company of forgery.
Let's do health. Kidney health advocates are urging urgent action to address the growing burden of kidney disease in Ghana, warning that pollution from illegal mining is worsening the crisis. During a free screening exercise in Cape Coast, Executive Director of the Central Kidney Foundation, Adeti, said an estimated 10 to 13% of Ghanaians are living with kidney-related conditions. He called for stronger action against illegal mining and expanded community-based kidney health care.
The Central Kidney Foundation has intensified efforts to tackle the growing burden of kidney disease in Ghana by extending kidney health screening and awareness programs beyond hospitals into local communities. At a free kidney health screening exercise for women at the Abra Market, the executive director of the foundation, Adeti, noted that taking screening services directly to communities would help identify at-risk individuals and called on stakeholders to intensify efforts to address illegal mining in the country.
Just like Abra Market, educate the people on chronic kidney disease, educate the people on kidney-related conditions, let them understand even the function of the kidney. Because when you know the value of a product, you will guard it preciously with all your life. So this is our mission, to go to the people and do that. Moreover, the foundation is also more concerned about water, because the best friend of the kidney is water. This means that if you have unsafe and unclean water, you are likely to be infected with this chronic, or let me say non-communicable disease. Now, when we talk about galamsey, we may think it's an easy or it's not it's a serious matter to talk about, but I see it as serious.
Some beneficiaries welcomed the initiative, describing it as an opportunity to know their kidney health status.
Oh, it helps. So you have to come to know. If you come and there's a problem, that is when you know what to do. You just can't be in the house and know how your wellness or how fit you are. You can't know. So you have to come here. CKD Foundation, they are doing well. They are helping a lot of people. Me, I'm from Ola. I heard last month. I've been following them, calling to check up when they will do it. And today I'm the first person to finish.
The Abra Market's Queen Mother, Cecilia Agre, encouraged regular health screening among Market's women and the wider community. My fellow Market's women, good health is what we need to work. When you are ill, you can't work. You may even use all your money from your business to cater for your health. So, take advantage of this initiative at our doorstep. The foundation is not only screening, but will also keep in touch to check on us. From Cape Coast, Abigail Lisol reports for Joy News.
Now, nearly 1 in 4 adults aged 40 and above in parts of Ashanti region are at risk of developing dementia, exposing major gaps in Ghana's readiness to tackle the growing public health challenge. Health experts are now partnering with UK researchers to improve early detection, diagnosis and long-term care through a dementia referral pathway. But they warn Ghana's health system remains ill-equipped, leaving many patients undiagnosed and families without adequate support. Martha Sewabwache reports.
Country Project Director Joshua Ochre says new evidence shows that 23.4% of adults aged 40 and above in the Ashanti region are at risk of dementia, describing it as an emerging public health concern.
For today, we had a workshop to disseminate some research findings and also do a co-creation towards development of a dementia care pathway for Ghana. And so we realized from our past research in 2023, between 2023 and 2025, that in Ghana, and purposely we focused on the Ashanti region then, people aged 40 years and older, among them 23.4% had risks of dementia, which is very high, and it's telling us that we need to do more for our country. But what we've realized is that our dementia care system in Ghana now is highly fragmented. So it means that we need to do more. We need to have specific guidelines showing when to refer, what to do next, and even issues of palliative care for persons living with dementia.
Principal investigator and senior lecturer at the University of Huddersfield, Professor Precious Adeti is calling for a national dementia policy, a clear referral care pathway, and stronger early detection systems to improve care for patients and support for caregivers.
In Ghana and all over the world, everybody wants to live long. And as we know, old age is one of the major risk factors for dementia. In other words, every single human being is at risk of developing dementia. I don't know whether it will be me or it will be any other person. And therefore, we all have to put our hands to the wheel and make sure that as a country, we have clarity on what to do when someone is showing signs of that. Therefore, my appeal to the government or the president and the ministry is that I should say that they've collaborated with us on this project. They've been key in organizing this, and I want to emphasize that. And therefore, from here, we want to see a much bigger collaboration for them to take up what we have done and make sure that they own it locally and it is expanded or implemented across the country. So that's what we are looking for, and of course a bigger collaboration. And from here, the idea is to again collaborate with the government and the ministry to be able to develop a dementia policy for Ghana.
Experts believe combining policy reforms with community-based social interventions will strengthen dementia care and improve the quality of life for Ghana's aging population. For Joy News, Martha Sewabwache's report, read to you.
Now, as Ghana searches for solutions to recurring floods, poor waste management and unreliable power supply, industry leaders are challenging universities to produce graduates who can solve problems, not just earn certificates. That challenge took center stage at the Adeti Technical University Faculty of Engineering's Innovation Summit and Career Fair, where students unveiled practical innovations aimed at addressing some of the country's pressing development needs. Nathalia Kwanza has more in the following report.
From waste segregation systems to smart power solutions, these engineering students are showcasing innovation developed to respond to everyday challenges. The projects formed part of the Faculty of Engineering Innovation Summit and Career Fair at the Takoradi Technical University. The events themed showcasing innovative projects, research and engineering solutions brought together students, researchers and industry players. The Pro-Vice Chancellor of TTU, Professor Ebenezer Boache, says engineering education must move beyond theories and focus on practical solutions.
Engineering education must extend beyond the classroom into the practical application of knowledge to solve real societal problems. We are living in an era characterized by unprecedented technological advancements and equally unprecedented challenges. The demand for competent engineers, innovators, and technology entrepreneurs has never been greater. Technical universities like ours, therefore, have a sole responsibility that extends beyond producing graduates.
He says Ghana's challenge in areas such as energy, flooding, sanitation, and unemployment requires innovation and sustainable engineering solutions. The district manager of ECG, Second D, Engineer Martin Jan, says the future of engineering depends on graduates who can apply technology to solve problems.
We want to achieve the socioeconomic development we need. Innovation has therefore become so critical to confront current challenges of our motherland Ghana and global community. These challenges require engineers who can design sustainable, innovative, and cost-effective solutions. From an industry perspective, we look for solutions that improve efficiency, also to reduce costs, enhance safety, increase productivity, and contribute to sustainability.
One of the innovations displayed was a waste management solution designed to encourage proper waste segregation and reduce plastic pollution.
This is to contribute in proper waste segregation. We came up with this project in a form of simple innovation, contributing meaningful to waste management, to reduce waste pollution, support recycling efforts.
This came up in our attention for current the flood that occurs.
The Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Winfred Ajaja, says the summit is part of efforts to bridge the gap between academia and industry.
Now, after years of contending with inadequate and unhygienic sanitation facilities, pupils of Salpon Methodist A Basic School have received a major boost with the commissioning of a modern 10-seater toilet facility donated by one of the school's alumni, Ernest de Graaf's Ejiu. The project, which is expected to improve hygiene, enhance learning environment, and promote health and the well-being of pupils, has been welcomed by the school community as a significant investment in education and sanitation. Beneficiaries describe the facility as a life-changing intervention that will restore dignity and support effective teaching and learning.
Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, the president of the MSDA and champion of the project, Ernest de Graaf Ejiu, urged the pupils to cultivate a strong maintenance culture to ensure the facility serves future generations.
Returning to Saltpond Methodist Basic A School always fills me with gratitude because this is where my educational journey began. This school shaped my character, nurtured my dreams, and gave me the foundation upon which I have built my life and career. 4 years ago, I made a commitment to support and maintain my alma mater. Seeing the school continue to improve and regain its beauty has been a source of great joy to me. To the pupils, school children, I encourage you to study hard, respect your teachers, and take good care of this facility. Protect it, keep it clean, and use it responsibly. It has been built for your benefits and for those who come after you.
The headmistress of the school, Lordina Bimpong, expressed appreciation to Mr. Ejiu for the intervention and highlighted the facility's importance to the school.
Today is a memorable milestone in the history of our school. We have gathered to officially commission and dedicate this facility, which will greatly improve sanitation, promote good hygiene, safeguard the health of our learners, and provide a more conducive environment for effective teaching and learning. We express our deepest appreciation to our generous donor, Mr. Ernest de Graft Ejiu, whose kindness, generosity, and commitment to the education have made this project a reality.
Pupils of the school also noted how the new 10-seater toilet facility will improve sanitation and make the school environment more conducive.
We are going to keep it and protect it for the next generation to come. So we are very, very grateful and we appreciate him. We pray that God will continue to bless him and guide him through all his ways.
I am telling him that God should richly bless him, gives him long life, more money, prosperity, and knowledge.
The diocesan bishop of the Methodist Church in Cape Coast, Right Reverend Richardson Abuaji Andam, also commended the intervention.
Since school is not only made up of the buildings and classrooms, but also discipline, patience, sacrifice, and love, and healthy environmental conditions.
From Salt Pond, Abigail Lisel Nkoma reports for Joy News.
Well, it's time for some business news, but first, let's check how the cedi is trading against other major currencies on the currency market. And the Ghana Association of Banks says it is stepping up engagement with the Bank of Ghana to review the impact of the cash reserve ratio requirement after the policy triggered an increase in the Ghana reference rate. Their comment is coming at a time when July's reference rate has gone up marginally to hit 10.59%. Speaking to Joy Business, CEO of the Association of Banks, Johnny Wa said the adjustment has had direct cost implications for banks, which are now being passed on through higher lending rates.
Yes, our engagement is ongoing. Right after the MPC, we had a series of meetings with the governor and his team. Obviously, the governor alone cannot unilaterally change or amend the decisions of the Monetary Policy Committee. So we are all, on the watch. More or less awaiting the outcome of the upcoming monetary policy deliberations. And we are hopeful that something be done to the cash reserving regime. You would recall that we are coming from 9% cash reserve ratio, and now we are talking about 20%. That tells you that for every 100 cedis that a bank takes as deposits, the bank will have to put 20 cedis at the central bank, earning zero interest. And if we are interested in lowering the cost of doing business, cost of borrowing, and as the governor has always maintained, bringing lending rates to below 10%, then we should also think about the implication of adjusting or tinkering with the cash reserve requirements in a manner that also negatively impact on the.
The monetary policy report by the Bank of Ghana has revealed that multilateral debt dominated in the share of Ghana's total external debt, constituting some 42.4% at the end of February 2026. There's more in this report.
The share of the international capital market debt remains relatively stable after payment of the Eurobond, which is principal and coupon in December 2025. Again, bilateral and commercial debt shares of the external debt remain relatively stable, mainly due to ongoing negotiations with bilateral creditors and discussions with commercial creditors to restructure these debts. On the maturity structure of the domestic debt, the short-term debt dominated the profile as of the end of February 2026. The Bank of Ghana warned that the increased short-term debt has the tendency to increase both rollover and refinancing risks. It, however, stated that the medium-term and long-term remained relatively stable over the period since there was no new issuance of bonds in the market. Ghana's debt stock stood at 674.1 billion cedis, representing 42.2% of GDP at the end of February 2026, from 641.1 billion cedis, representing 44.7% of GDP at the end of December 2025. Out of the total public debt, external debt was 313.6 billion cedis, representing 19.6% of GDP, and domestic debt totaled 360.4 billion cedis, representing 22.6% of GDP. The increase reflected in both external and domestic debt.
Now let's get some updates from our commodities market. Well, that's it for AM News. But don't forget that the AM show is sponsored by Shield Silicone Paints from Azar Group, Syntex Pipes, and Time Herbal Mixture. Now, the World Cup fever is on and everyone is getting excited. CompuGhana says the match shouldn't just be on the pitch. You can actually bring the stadium experience home. This is the time to buy your crystal clear TVs, sound bars, home theaters, smartphones, laptops, projectors, and more at unbeatable prices. Remember, this isn't just discount sale. It's a chance to win a 100-inch 4K smart TV, some cash, laptops, phones, and many other amazing prizes when you spend 1,000 cedis or more. So rush to any CompuGhana showroom or just shop online at CompuGhana.com. You can call 030-275-2020 or WhatsApp 024-314-3143. CompuGhana Go Rush Season, the ultimate football experience. Now, football's biggest tournament is on. I'm talking about the World Cup. And there's no better way to back your team on Betano. Sign up today on Betano and claim a welcome bonus of up to 2,000 Ghana cedis on your first deposit to enjoy the World Cup. Simply create your Betano account, verify your details, and make your first deposit. And make we bet. 18 plus only, terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. This has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Let me tell you about Nestor's Homes, because you can own your dream property in one of Teme's fastest growing prime locations today. At Nestor's Homes, we offer beautifully designed Studio 1, 2, 3- and 4-bedroom luxury homes crafted for modern living, comfort, and long-term value. Strategically located at Tema Community 26, just behind the Palace Mall, our gated community gives you a serene and secure environment, easy access to major roads and key business areas, close proximity to schools, hospitals, malls, and essential social amenities. So reserve your unit today with just 10% deposit and enjoy flexible payment plans and mortgage options. You can call us now on 053-101-4440 or 053-101-4447 to book a viewing, or just visit us at www.nestes.com.gh. Let me tell you that this July, Ghana will host global energy leaders and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference GIPCON 2026 on the theme, Building a Resilient Downstream Policy Innovation and Investment for Growth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, will be the distinguished guest of honor. Speakers include Honorable Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapo, Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Godwin Eduji Tamaklo, CEO of National Petroleum Authority, Dr. Patrick Ofori, CEO of Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, and Dr. Riverson Opon, CEO of Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. The date is 16 to 17 July 2026, 8 a.m. each day. The venue is Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. The event will be climaxed with the Downstream Awards and Gala Night happening on July 18 at 6 p.m. at Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel, Accra. So register now at www.gipcon.com or just call us 055-822-3678. Well, that's it for the AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaide. For more news, of course, I highly recommend you log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. A while later, we'll have our news review. Do have a lovely Friday and a lovely weekend.
Time for sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. We start with some worrying story because Black Stars defender Marvin Sanaya has been ruled out for several weeks after undergoing surgery for a hamstring injury which was sustained during Ghana's round of 32 clash with Colombia at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The Black Stars medical team confirmed the injury following an MRI scan in Kansas City, which revealed a significant hamstring injury. The team's medical staff immediately commenced initial management of the acute injury. The player has subsequently undergone a successful surgery in Paris and has now returned to his club Auxerre to continue his rehabilitation. There is active collaboration between the Ghana Football Association and Auxerre to ensure a smooth rehabilitation journey for the defender. Marvin is expected to be out for at least 8 weeks. The France-based defender featured in all Ghana's 4 matches at the World Cup before sustaining the injury against Colombia. Now, to the World Cup, Kylian Mbappe scored his 8th goal of this competition to make up for an earlier missed penalty as France proved too good for Morocco. They defeated the Atlas Lions by 2-0 to qualify for the semi-finals as they chase their 3rd World Cup title. Let's enjoy the highlights.
Mbappe! And Bone was scrambling across. He's taken a lot of short corners. Dembele lifts it in, it's a beauty. Bono on the line makes a point-blank save. and Mbappe's ahead of him, and Dembele's through the middle. This is Kylian Mbappe, Mazraoui's challenge, penalty kick. Kylian Mbappe is denied. It was limp. Ousmane Dembele to 0-2. Bono, another fine save at pretty close quarters. Came to Dino. That was swishing and swirling all over the shot. To 0-2. To a Mbappe! Simply irrepressible. 20 World Cup goals for Kylian Mbappe. Here's Dembele. Ousmane Dembele has hit the bottom corner. And France are heading for the Final Four. A goal of precision and certainty. He played it square. Unahi beaten away by Manuel. Bradley Buckler. France, Marchand. France into the semi-finals. France 2, Morocco 0.
Now, Belgium are embracing their underdog status ahead of today's quarter-final clash with Spain, as their head coach Rudi Garcia is confident they have the attacking quality and belief to upset the European champions. Spain themselves, they are hoping to reach the last four of the tournament for the first time since 2010. Here is a preview to the game.
I don't believe I have an innate winning spirit. What I've always believed, what has always been passed on to me, and what I try to pass on to everyone else is that you should always give it your all. If you give it your all, you'll be closer to winning, and that's a fact. We're certainly on a roll, not just because of the World Cup, but because of the momentum we've been building within the squad and with Luis beforehand. The determination of the 10 players in front of me to want the ball makes you feel that you have to be just like them too. They're going to need you to want the ball at some point and to dominate the game. Everyone's fully committed and we all want the same thing and to play in the same way. When all those cogs are working together, I think all of us out on the pitch, even those who get the chance to come on later, really enjoy it. We're at this World Cup. We've gone many games without losing. The truth is that it will happen at some point. This run of form will have to come to an end one day, I'm sure of it. But when that day comes, let it be because our opponents are better than us. If anyone has to beat you, let it be because they've done better than you, not because you've given them a reason to do so. So with that mindset, with that routine, with that way of thinking, that's how you achieve success and accomplishments. You might not realise it now, but when your career ends, many years from now, I hope the journey will have been driven by that. The fact that you have to fight for it every day, give it your all, and that's how you come away feeling proud. Whatever the result, if we give it our all, I think that's how we'll leave the world of football with our heads held high.
I'm Brondon Makala. I'm 33 years old. I play for Club Brugge, and this is my first World Cup. In the first match, I was pretty nervous because it was completely new to me. I've only played for Belgium a few times, so I was quite tense. But I was happy and proud to be there. I thought about the hard work I had put in over the past few years to get here, and I think I deserve it. And during that first match, I reminded myself of this. I'm always a bit tense before a match. Even though it's not as new anymore, it's getting more important. It's also getting more difficult, with tougher opponents. But that tension is all part of the game, and if it wasn't there, then it would be far less fun. Every match is important, and you play every match to win it. That is my job. To lead the defense and make sure everyone is in their right position. At 33 years old, I have the experience, and I try to make that happen.
To club football now, and Manchester United have revealed the location for their proposed new 100,000-seater stadium. The ground will sit approximately 350 meters northwest of the existing Old Trafford Stadium. Sky Sports has more.
We have long spoken about what they were going to do with Old Trafford. Were they going to renovate it, somehow try and expand it, bring it into the modern era? Would they move to a new stadium? Well, we got those artists' impressions, didn't we, around 18 months ago? You remember the big kind of circus tent, the canopy on this site. That was their preferred option at that point, to move to a new stadium built either on top of or just adjacent to Old Trafford. Well, they've now made more concrete plans in the sense that the Trafford Wharfgate redevelopment, the redevelopment of this whole part of Manchester city centre, and in the middle of it will be the new Old Trafford, 100,000 seats, and we know where it's going to be. And it's not actually going to be on the site of the original stadium that stands behind me. What we've since found out today is where it's going to sit. So the artists' impressions of this whole master plan, they're calling it, for the regeneration of this area have been released, and you can see that Old Trafford, new Old Trafford as it's being built today, is just a little bit away from where Old Trafford is, on a triangular piece of land that the club completed the purchase of in the last 2 weeks. We've just taken a walk up to the other side of Old Trafford, which is where it is from where we are stood now. We're on the east side of the stadium, so we've gone down on the other side of the stadium, the northwest corner, where United have bought this piece of land to have a look at it. Right now there's an indoor karting centre there. There are a number of industrial units. That piece of land, though, is essentially where the new stadium is going to rise up from. So as you can see, the proximity to Old Trafford is relatively close. You can see it quite visibly how close that is. From where I'm stood, it's probably half a mile, but according to Manchester United, it's closer than that to the stadium itself, and it's very much on this site. It's about trying to keep the legacy and future of Manchester United here at Old Trafford, where they've played since 1910. So having spoken and having listened to the presentation, I spoke to the CEO of New Stadium Development, Colette Roche, who's been working on these plans for the club and will take a lead on what happens next. And as she told me that essentially completing the purchase of that triangular piece of land we've just shown you has been the key to unlocking this whole project.
350 metres away it is from the current stadium today, and that has been an important factor. But I think, you look at a lot of football clubs and they've had to move much further afield, and that was part of our decision making. We didn't want to lose the history, the heritage, the matchday rituals around what our fans find really important. So where we are, we think, is an absolutely prime position, is well connected, it is a walk away, and it does mean that we've got the opportunity for people to take things that are precious around current Old Trafford, it's still in Trafford, and make sure that we can make it as great as the one that we're stood in today. Timescales, we've got to do the design. That's probably going to take about 6 months or so. Planning takes between 12 and 18 months. So if I was a betting person, which I'm not, I would actually you could maybe think that the stadium would start to see something around about 2028. We know we've got a milestone around the Women's World Cup in 2035, but we want to hopefully build a stadium before that. But they all need to be determined. So we've got to take it one step at a time, land, design, and then we can decide when we open the gates and welcome all our fans.
And that's how we wrap up the sports segment on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Messes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis only on GoTV.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Car. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Through every stage of life, let's go. Some things simply stay with us. The spirit of never giving up. A throwback to a bygone era. Love was service. The silent statement of love. A thoughtful gesture that deepens bonds, balancing work and life. Every drop refreshes, every sip hydrates, just as it should. I am awake, one for life. Drink water, drink awake. supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is
this strategy will lead. Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working.
Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional. Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
I didn't think it would happen to me, but it happened to me.
Ghana's digital economy is booming. Millions of transactions, billions of cities, a future powered by technology. But beneath the convenience lies a growing threat.
Now it's becoming more towards digital fraud.
If we place convenience excessively over security, we run the risk of breaking down the number one currency that we have in that ecosystem, and that is trust.
The Digital Economy Forum is a thought leadership series examining the opportunities, risks, and choices shaping Ghana's economic future. In our maiden edition, we tackle a critical issue, the trust crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy.
We need to have a 360-degree solution.
Join Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Elhanan Oreku Asare, Economics Professor Godfred Bokpin, CEO of Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewua, Executive Chairman of E-Crime Bureau, Dr. Albert Enchibuesiako, Chief Risk and Compliance Officer at Mobile Money FinTech Limited, Godwin Tamaklu, Deputy Director General in charge of Technical Operations at the Cybersecurity Authority, Stephen Kojo Seshi, and Head of Internal Affairs at Haptel, Ebenezer Bofo. The Digital Economy Forum, the Trust Crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy. Brought to you in partnership with Haptel. It's happening on Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. live on Joy News, Joy FM, and across our social media platforms.
Welcome to Sulas Enterprise, the shop that deals in industrial machinery such as generators, rice millers, water pumps, compressors, and mowers. From the smallest to the largest capacity, at Sulas Enterprise, we give you nothing but the best. from the best brands such as Honda and Perkins. When it comes to our generators, we also sell mowers coming from brands like Honda, Briggs and Straton, and Oluma. And when it comes to our water pumps, we offer you brands like Lily, Prudin, and Pedrolo water pumps. We also sell rice millers for all capacities. We are located at Spintex, Kakalika Plaza. Also, find our various locations as displayed on screen, or call us on the following numbers: 0243-839-463 or 0554-154-416 or 0240-541-493.
Sulas Enterprise, where quality meets affordability.
The city had one of its most dramatic years in recent memory. It opened 2025 at 14 cities, 70 pesos to the dollar. By February, it had weakened slightly to 15 cities, 50 pesos. It stayed there until April, one of the longest periods of stability in more than a decade. Then came the surprise. Between April and May, the city shot up. It strengthened from 15 cities, 50 pesos to 10 cities, 30 pesos in just 5 weeks. From May through July and into early August, it held steady between 10 cities, 30 pesos and 10 cities, 50 pesos. But by mid-August, the tide turned. In only 3 weeks, it slipped to 12 cities. That has made it one of the worst performing currencies in the third quarter of 2025. External conditions have not changed much. In fact, they remain in Ghana's favor. Gold prices are at a record high. The United States dollar is still subdued, and the Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates soon. Normally, these will support the city. The pressure instead is domestic. Remittances are one of Ghana's most reliable sources of dollars, but this year they slowed. Here's why. In April, sending $1,000 got you about 15,000 cedis, enough to buy around 150 bags of cement. By May, the same $1,000 fetched just 10,000 cedis, barely enough for 100 bags. With the money suddenly buying less in Ghana, many senders held back. They bet the city would weaken again. If it did, their transfers would convert into more cedis. This pause in inflows removed a steady cushion for dollars, and it came just as import demand was rising. The structure of Ghana's economy has not changed. Dollars still come mainly from gold, cocoa, oil, and remittances. So when remittances pause, the impact is felt. Imports have also surged. Traders rushed to take advantage of the stronger cedi. They stocked up ahead of the festive season. This added even more pressure on the currency. At the same time, there are signs the Bank of Ghana has cut back dollar supply. Why scale back? The reasons are not fully clear, but there are strong hints. Earlier this year, the IMF warned that the bank was intervening too heavily. It interjected about $1.4 billion in the first quarter alone. In response, the bank pledged to introduce a new framework for interventions. That is due by the end of September. This recent slowdown may be a trial run. Another factor is the gap between the interbank rate and the forex bureaus. While banks traded the cedi at 10 cedis 30 pesos to the dollar, bureaus were trading at 11 or even 12 cedis. Allowing some depreciation on the official side may be the bank's way of closing that gap. The wide difference was distorting the market. Meanwhile, the bank is also tightening foreign currency rules and demanding stricter paperwork before importers can access forex. For now, with gold prices about $3,500 per ounce and foreign reserves above $11 billion, the bank still has the firepower to steady the market. But heavy intervention is never a lasting solution unless gold prices stay high for a very long time or the structure of the economy changes. This same debate over the cedi will keep coming back.
On June 29, torrential rains triggered severe flooding across parts of the country, claiming lives, destroying property, and displacing thousands. The floods also left behind large amounts of debris and waste, prompting government to declare a 2-day nationwide cleanup exercise to restore affected areas and improve sanitation conditions. Government officials, private institutions, and security agencies are expected to lead the first day of the exercise. Local Government Minister Ahmed Ibrahim has directed MMDAs to properly ensure that all waste generated is evacuated promptly. He says logistics have been coordinated to support the exercise and prevent refuse from being left at collection points.
We must ensure that all waste generated during the exercise is evacuated to designated transfer stations and disposal facilities without delay. This particular one, there will be trailers at floater trucks and there will be vehicles available at vantage points. We don't want a situation whereby the following day people will say, but this thing that gutters that we desilted, the debris are still at the edges. We don't know whether it will rain tomorrow or not. So if we go and disilt the gutters and put them on the edges, after the water has been drained back into the gutter, the sand must not be there.
The ministry says environmental service providers and waste management companies will operate around the clock to support waste evacuation efforts.
All environmental health officers and other authorized officers of the assemblies are directed to monitor compliance, provide technical guidance where necessary, and strictly enforce the applicable sanitation bylaws throughout the exercise. Thank God there is a sanitation court. So the enforcement of the bylaws is not that difficult. The ministry is collaborating with the environmental service provider to ensure that all strategic waste management facilities operate continuously on a 24-hour basis throughout the exercise to facilitate uninterrupted waste evacuation. All regional coordinating councils are to actively facilitate this arrangement.
The minister also announced that refuse collected by tricycle operators during the exercise will be accepted free of charge at designated disposal facilities. Assemblies have further been encouraged to utilize designated transfer stations and landfill sites assigned to them to reduce pressure on disposal facilities and ensure the smooth evacuation of waste throughout the nationwide cleanup exercise. Michelle Lati, Joy News.
The donated items included 35 cutlasses, 35 shovels, 35 spades, 35 pair of boots, 35 headspans, 35 pair of gloves, and 7 wheelbarrows. The initiative would ensure a smooth implementation of the National General Cleaning Days in the Keta municipality. Presenting the items, Lom Nuku Ahanija said the recent floods should serve as a wake-up call for greater emphasis on environmental sanitation and disaster prevention.
In my various movements in the constituency and the municipality, I've come to know that even though there are tools supporting those activities, is not adequate or enough. So the donation today to the municipal assembly through the municipal chief executive is to support the municipal assembly in Keta and also its sub units, which is the zonal councils. And as we know from the recent flooding that has affected many parts of Ghana, in some aspects or in a certain respect, it is also exacerbated by the let's say uncleanliness around, and the fact that some of the gutters and passageways for the water has been clogged. And so this support is just to encourage the community to go out there and do exactly as the president has directed.
The Keta Municipal Assembly appreciated the donation and acknowledged that the tools provided would enhance the scheduled cleanup exercise. Fred Kwame Yasari, Joy News, Abo.
Everything has meaning, but not everything is as it seems. For every story told, there are versions of the truth.
We can't afford to look at the numbers that have been presented, and say, we are tired, it's the same old issue. No, somebody should be prosecuted.
Every opinion can be debated. Every claim can be challenged. Even the idea of the national interest can and must be interrogated.
This is the date it was. This was the date it was printed from the system.
That is what
what is he talking about?
Because sometimes the real facts are buried deep within layers of interpretation. So we ask the harder questions. We test every claim. We raise the standard of public discourse and place every issue on the altar of unbiased scrutiny. This is Newsfile, your most authoritative news analysis platform. And here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first.
We stand belief. What are you doing?
Newsfile with Samson Ladi Anyanini. On Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible.
Confused on how to deal with rising temperatures? How about the threats posed by extreme weather to livelihoods and food security? Guess what? There's hope. Farmers are adapting. Innovators are finding solutions. Communities are building resilience. Organizations are leading change. Catch the all-new season of Climate Focus on Joy News, a weekly series that walks you through the interventions and practical solutions helping people confront climate change and build a more sustainable future. Climate Focus, every Thursday in all Joy News bulletins, radio, TV, online, and digital media. Climate Focus is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with CDK and Ghana, Beyond the Science and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands and the International Development Research Center, IDRC, Canada.
Not corruption. Vote buying silences the will of the people. Unchecked illicit political financing weakens the very sovereignty of a state. Democracy falters when everyone's choice is compromised. An unprecedented multimedia politician-citizen forum brought to you by Joy News Impact Makers Foundation. This community-level engagement will spotlight illicit political financing, explore its implications, and proffer solutions to safeguarding Ghana's democracy. Democracy is not for sale on Joy News, Adom TV, Joy FM, Adom FM, and across our social media platforms.
All right, welcome back to the AM show. Time for us to get into the Matters Arising segment. My guests are all seated. It's a day where Ghana confronts sanitation head on. We have our security personnel and other Ghanaians going out there to clean our frontages. Because of this, all shops will remain closed until about 1 p.m. I hope it doesn't affect travel anyway, because some people will be traveling after here. But just before, let's get into the papers and bring you a bit of what the papers are reporting. Daily Guide newspaper, it says no court order reversed Black Water ownership, Azuma Resources says. And Obantampa radio attack, GJA gives Central NDC chairman 7 days to apologize. Okay. And Abu Trika extradited to US over $8 million romance scam. The story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. It comes with a photograph of Abutrika and some people boarding flight there. Ex-NAFCO boss released from Iyoko custody without conditions. And that's something his lawyer predicted. When I spoke to Godfrey Adeti, he sort of said he knows the modus operandi of the Iyoko and what they want to do. So they'll release him without, conditions. And of course, that has come up. Now, structures near Tessa Dam is going to be demolished, presidency says. Oh, okay. And it comes with an aerial view of the Tessa Dam. Wow, so all of this area will go. Wow. That would be serious, because I'm fine with this there. Yeah. They will go. Interesting. We'll get into that. Okay, squatters, eh? Okay. Now, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. So it says, President opens new Kolebu Cath lab. It comes with a picture of the president cutting the ribbon to open the lab. Now, GJ gives Akosua NDC chairman 7-day ultimatum over Obatampa radio attack. Shops to close from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. Tomato imports to end in 4 months. Agric Minister assures. Really? Wow. Let me put an asterisk on this one. Tomato imports to end in 4 months.
That's the massive.
Wow, that will be a good news if it indeed happens. Anyway, we'll get into that. Okay. Can Belgium stop free scoring Spain? That's a question they're asking ahead of today's quarterfinals games. The New Finder newspaper, Ghana to repay about 54 billion cedis in debt servicing in 2027. Okay. Mobile Money Limited target cashless transport systems, and Useful Waste CEO calls for waste system overhaul. Farmers receive 1,000 bags of fertilizer under Feed Ghana program. Government to deploy AI to improve tax collection. Okay, so that is there. Let's do the news center. ICC didn't reverse EMP share acquisition. Noel Addo, chairman of Azuma Resources Limited, says Azuma Resources refute false media report. And Amankwa donate 100,000 Ghana cedis to Ayawaso West Wogon MPP. Samuel also Amankwa, did that particular presentation there. 2-day flood recovery cleanup begins today. Now, community service bill ends poverty as a ticket to prison. Ayenini says. That's my big lawyer there, Lawyer Samson Ayenini. Okay. The custodian stopped the cover-up, named government officials implicated in $208 million meth scandal in Tim Fojo says. That's the custodian newspaper there. And Reverend Tim Fojo is the ranking on the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament. He's been speaking on the meth bust in Australia. Now, a republic governed by chaos, minority chases Ayine demands probe into seized 350 million flood relief funds. Okay. Gomwa East MPP constituency to elect Francis Mensah as chairman. Okay. Gomwa East is where A+ is, right? Okay. Roads Minister rebukes Oti Regional Minister MDAs over delayed reporting of non-performing contractors. And at the back page of the custodian, BOG bank staff implicated in. Oh, okay. So I'm told A+ is in Gomwa Central. Yeah. Gomwa East. Okay, all right.
I think Gomwa East is where the deputy minister.
The deputy minister for what? Energy. Okay.
Yeah, John.
Where Captain Smart wants to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, BOG bank staff implicated in fraud falls by 40%. That's the story there. Let's see how it goes. And we know that tomorrow your party is electing constituency executives, right?
Yes.
That's why this Gomwa is coming up. Okay. So that's all for the papers. Let's get into the matters. But before, how is the weather today? Once we are out there cleaning, we should be careful, or we should be in the know of how the weather will be for us today. So this is coming from the weather, the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Let's watch it. All right. So the discussion has already started here. Well, let's start with the national clinic before we come to this whole discussion about Nkoko Nketse Nketse. Now, the national cleaning exercise, we're asking a nation's mobilization to sanitization. Remember, last 2 weeks, Monday, what we saw in Accra was devastating. Yeah, and because of that, the president and the government announced that today and tomorrow we will be engaging in a national cleanup exercises beginning today. So it has started. Our men are out there. We'll get in touch with them so that we can understand what's happening. But is this what we needed? Is it coming too late in the day? Well, let's start the discussion. I've been joining the studio, Professor Isaac Bodi, Dean of Accounting and Finance Faculty at UPSA. Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
All good?
Very well.
Okay. Wanda Madilo is one of my favorite guys, development analyst and member of the NDC's communications team. Wanda, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You good?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, all right. Fifi Boafo is former head of public affairs at Cocoa Board. Fifi, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
You good?
Oh, it could have been better.
Okay.
But it's manageable.
All right. Andrew Apia Dankwa is lawyer and the Director of Legal and Constitutional Affairs of the United Party. They say I should call him by a certain name, but I won't. This is his designation. Hi. Lawyer, I say.
That one fits.
Unlike brother who, since we put them out of this one saying that it could have been better. I'm good.
You're good.
And I know he's also good, but for propaganda sake. But he's very good.
Lawyer Apia Dankwa.
I thought your party was actually campaigning to be elected. I didn't know you were only campaigning for MPP to be booted.
Are we in a campaign?
No. You talked about MPP being booted.
Since you were put out
your
of
campaign was for your party to win.
Listen.
Not to get rid of the MPP.
Since you were put out of power.
It portrays where you stand. It's obvious. Now the cat is out of the bag. The cat which out of the bag.
I campaigned.
Your campaign was for your campaign was supposed to be for your party to.
Other useless governments. I don't know why you haven't even encouraged useless government.
Let's say as about Ken. Also, they booted the MPP.
Since the MPP.
Primarily.
Ghanaians booted you.
Primarily. Your interest was not for your party to win.
My interest is
but to get the MPP.
Listen, my interest is gone.
Well looted.
Okay.
So stop the propaganda.
Now, before we start, let me bring this piece from Professor Boateng. Now he says, and this is by Engineer Professor Douglas Boateng. It says, many believe success. Prof wants us to share this. It says, many believe success is achieved by getting ahead of others. Wisdom teaches that lasting success is often achieved by helping others move forward. Nyansakasa, words of wisdom, reminds us, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. The uncomfortable truth is this: those who hoard opportunities often limit their own growth, while those who create opportunities for others multiply their own. The deeper question this weekend is, whose life, dream, or future will become better because you crossed their path? Have a peaceful, inspiring, and Nyansa, wisdom-filled weekend. Stay blessed. Prof, this is coming at the right time. Sometimes you don't understand why people, when they have opportunities, they would want to hoard it from other people. And we don't understand that you rise by lifting others. We always just say we want to be the bottom. Prof is telling you that your life becomes better when you lift others. So please, today and over the weekend, ponder over this and see how you are able to lift others up. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to you, Professor, Engineer Professor Douglas Boateng. Well, let's start our conversation on the national sanitation. Let me start with you, Fifi.
Thank you. Well, government says all of us must step out there and clean. The question is, why should we do this? Indeed, it's public knowledge that there was a major disaster last 2 weeks. And as a result of that, there's a need for us to take some actions to help us not to get into that situation again. Kojo, let me admit that it's important to support government initiative that will make our country better. I also wish to state that it should not take a national day like this before we can clean our cities. Because cleaning must be a daily thing. Every day when we wake up, there are people who have been given the responsibility and the mandate to clean our cities. So why must we say that from morning to midday, shops should close? Businesses are not operating. Revenue that would have accrued to the country and the individuals must be lost in order to get the cities clean. So the taxes you are paying, the money is being taken away from you for the purposes of cleaning the city. What has that money been used for? You know the sad thing, I was here last week when your reporter went to Alajo and other places that had flooded. The videos your reporter sent was a clear indication of dereliction of duty of these assemblies. The assemblies, they have a duty to make sure that they clean the place. After the rains, the drains, all the filth, they were packed along the drains. The assemblies for about a week had done absolutely nothing about it. So now you have to leave your office to go and clean that. So really, what are the assemblies doing? But for us as the MPP, we believe that despite the dereliction on the part of government to get the work done, it is still important to salvage the situation, not sit on unconcerned and allow the situation to deteriorate, but rather make sure that we join in helping rescue the situation. So the General Secretary has actually issued a statement urging all MPP members to support. Of course, the timing is a bit problematic in the sense that there are people who will still have to go to work today. Tomorrow is a day for people to at least join. But unfortunately, the MPP is also organizing constituency elections tomorrow. So there are a lot of party people who will be busy. But here they are having to do that and then also participate in this. But there's one thing that it tells governments. There were young people in this country who got employment. The only crime these young people committed was that it was under the MPP administration that these young people got employed. When the NDC took over, they were sacked. Go home.
How's that related to this?
You get the point. I will answer, you get it. Go home. Lose your livelihood. There's nothing there for you to live on. Today, all such young persons are expected to participate in cleaning Ghana. So when it comes to getting employment, there are some people who do not deserve to be employed or work in the country just because they are affiliated to the MPP. They don't deserve to work. But those people are expected to go and clean the cities. It tells you clearly that when we live in a country, the country belongs to all of us pay taxes, and all of us must be afforded the opportunity to enjoy, if any, opportunities in the country. But if you restrict it to some few people because they belong to your political party, when problems come, you don't go to the people who you consider not to be important to have any opportunity in the country to participate in such an act. Well, we wish everyone participating in the process well. We hope that after cleaning, persons who have been paid, given resources to ensure that we clean our cities, will not sit down, allow the situation to deteriorate to the extent that all of us will have to leave our offices to go out there and clean.
All right, thank you. Wanda.
National sanitation.
Yeah, National Cleaning Day.
National Cleaning Day. 2014, if I recall, we indeed instituted something like this, where...
I think it was even before. It was started under Atamo's time, right? In Atamo's time. The sanitation days.
Yes.
Everyone, I think one Saturday in a month.
Yeah, but in 2014, we did something that was more...
nationalistic.
Yes, what will I say, spontaneous, like everybody doing it. The other one was a declaration which expected, but this one was more of a national, congregation of people to do it, like what we're having today.
Yeah.
Until this flood, I don't think many of us saw that our gutters were that choked. That's one. We believe that yes, people were littering the streets, like you find in Carnation markets, like the Agbogbloshie markets, like in our various institutions. But prior to that, if you recall, there was an agenda to clean up, for instance, the Ramsey site, which was a passage to the sea where water collects to the sea. In fact, it's one of the areas where so much water collects from all the plains, from the Accra plains, from even the Wager areas also had their own way into the Wager Dam and all that. Densu Delta. Come again? Densu Delta. Yeah. The Densu and all that. We all knew that, we had crisis. But this volume of water that poured that day was abnormal. It's not the usual rain that we all have. Indeed, if you look around the globe, there are many countries like China, even the US, that are suffering from some of these floods. So indeed, we have a national disaster in one breath. The other issue is citizens' irresponsibility, quote unquote, where we litter the areas that are supposed not to be littered, where we are not responsible for even the waste we generate from our homes, where you find plainly people selling on our gutters, people blocking the roads, people who are tipping sand to build, also tip on the gutters and all that. So indeed we have a challenge as a country. It is not entirely a government responsibility to come and clean your home. I hear people say, oh, well, come and clean our roads for us, come and clean our gutters for us. But if I'm responsible, you are responsible. We don't even get to that level. That's the truth. If we go to our markets and the market woman is responsible, at the end of the day, sweeps her area, collect the rubbish and put it in the garbage bin. You do yours, I do mine. Everybody does theirs. We don't have that problem. Today, we still have people who sit in Toto driving after maybe munching on one ice cream or what the other, through the windows. Those are acts of irresponsibilities. And these are things that we need to consciously, as a country, begin to drive the people to understand that that is not the way to go. Cleanliness begins from one man, not two people, not three people, not a government business. If I do my own, you do yours, everybody does this, we are fine to go. Number two, what government needs to do is to create the enabling environment, like the provision of what they call where they collect the rubbish, what's the name?
Landfill site.
Landfill site. No, landfill site is even at the high level. That's for. I'm talking about the beans.
There's a word for it.
Yes, I'm talking about the beans in the various markets in the various.
And then where beans.
Yes, the dustbins.
I'm sure he's talking about the collection point.
Yeah, the collection point.
Yeah.
I mean that should help us. Look, we have grown as a country in terms of population, and these are some of the side effects when you overgrown and you don't have the system to support it. Sanitation is one of the challenges of almost every government.
And you're not sure it is as a result of government inefficiency?
I'm saying that you can blame it on government in one breath. But the real thing is that it is the citizens' responsibility to take the garbage out of your house. No government comes to your home to take garbage from your home. True or false? Now, you have to bring it out. And bring it out. In some advanced countries, even you would have to sort it out from plastic waste to biodegradable waste and all that. We don't have those systems. But bring it out of your home. Put it at the right location for it to be picked. When it's at the right location and it's not picked, we can now be blaming the municipal assembly, the government as a whole. But here's a case where we have situations where even in our own areas, in an estate environment, for instance, where you have people virtually littering the whole environment, how do you blame government on something?
What happened was because the choked drains were not the filter.
I'm coming. We saw videos while the rain was on, while the flood was on. People were bringing garbage from their homes and dumping it into the running gutters. How do you blame that also on government? I'm not saying you cannot blame government for maybe the distortion of the gutters, but I'm saying that the basic thing has to do with the individual who collect. No waste is collected by itself. No waste is generated by itself. Human beings generate the waste. And so if I'm responsible in bringing it from my home to the collection point, that's good. But if I don't, and even in my various homes, the aisles, the corners, we have all those, locked up there. What do you expect? Number two, the bigger problem of government is the stilting of the gutters. And which gutters are we talking about? It's usually the bigger gutters, like the Odo River, the Donna gutter, and all the others. Those ones, we can blame it on successive government.
Even the smaller gutters, the assemblies, they are all part of government.
I'm coming there. I'm saying that the bigger ones, which is what you say government, then you're talking about central government, right?
But even the local assemblies are.
The local assemblies, I do agree that they will take care of the smaller gutters and all that. I don't know why you seem to be worried about what I'm saying, but I'm saying that the bigger ones, which is the one you're blaming us for, is the door kind, the bigger ones, what you call the storm drains. The storm drains, once they are locked, even when the small ones are clean and they get into it, overflow. Right? But this responsibility is both on government and the citizenry. Today we are told that somebody has been sacked, young people have been sacked. That is why the gutters are choked. Is that what we are hearing? Yes, we have people who always want to think that everything that happens in this country should be government. But what's the responsibility of the individual? Where is the responsibility of, government? Smaller units like companies that develop, that manufacture and produce so much waste? What are we doing about all of this? This is where the challenges is. This is where we should be looking at. There's the situation where we're able to be responsible on our own as a government, as a people, as a unit, as a company, as a corporation and all that. Once we are all responsible, everybody is playing their part. I don't think that it will be so obvious that government is not doing their part.
So last year there was the committee, the one stand we had.
Yeah,
the flood something committee. They flew around Accra. And the report was that they've identified the spots, what is needed to be done to avoid flooding, right? Again, last year, President Mahama gave directive to the MMDCs to break structures which were on waterways. After that directive, I remember they broke some 2 or 3 structures. We covered them, then that ended. Then they went to the Ramsar site. So when the committee said they had identified the spots and what needed to be done, why didn't we do those things to ensure that even if flooding would come, the impact will be minimal?
You see, let's not jump the gun.
Okay.
One is that a directive was given. You confirmed that a few were done.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, you were not there every day. You captured a few.
For the optics.
Well, that's your view. If it was easy to manage floods, even when you opened the Volta River gate yourself, in the full glare of the camera, you knew the impact of what you were going to do. You couldn't even manage that. So MPP is not one of the people who should give advice on flooding. Because VRA, when it was open, the floodgates were open. When under your tenure, you knew very well what the impact of that was going to be. You couldn't even manage that. And today you sit in studio to lecture us on flooding. Please, let's be serious. Then you get to the point where we're saying that government gave a directive, people or the assemblies embarked on the directive. You agree. You also agree that for a long time, last year until this year, the Ramsar site story was on and on and on and on. True or false?
Yes.
And so to create the impression that nothing was done in preparation for this flood is wrong.
But was that the only thing?
Two. We agree that the flood that came this time around was not the usual one. It's not the one that it's rain and Accra is flooded. We all agree that this was unusual. And if it was unusual, many people have not seen this before. When I came to Accra, the first flood I ever saw this big was in 1987 or 98 thereabout. When I ever saw this kind of flood. Then we didn't even have this kind of population. Today the population has grown beyond what we saw in 1997, 98. And so I am saying that development comes with some of these excesses. Yes, government may not have done all there is to have been done for the flood to be subsided. But are you saying that countries like China and and the US and all the other places where floods takes our homes and where places are flooded is because the government reneged on its duties? No.
But
this is a
US,
natural disaster. Hold on.
Usually this is more of tsunami.
You are the one saying this. You are the one saying tsunamis. We've seen floods. We've seen the difference between flood and we've seen the difference between tsunamis. So what are you saying? We've seen floods. We know what a flood is. Currently, China is being flooded. It's not tsunami. It's not any of the tsunamis you're talking about. So flooding is a natural disaster, but you have to prepare to mitigate the effect. I've always called for instance, NADMO and fire service being put together, because it looks like we spend resources in resourcing fire service. They do all they do in terms of disaster management. Then we spend money again on NADMO. I think that if we put the resources of both NADMO and fire service together, because in the midst of all this flood, you will find out that fire service is also helping in rescuing people. So if we can put the resources together and manage even the personnel over there, and not make it maybe a political opening for jobs and all that, especially NADMO, we can be able to have a proper system in managing our disaster in this country. Disasters are not only limited to floods. Of course, now that we have gotten to this point, government now has to spend money to reinstate some of these people, some of these housing schemes and all that. So indeed, we have a challenge, and that challenge has to be resolved. Finally, on this matter, I listened to my brother Fifi Bafo say that young people were sent home, and then all of a sudden they're asked to come and work. He sits in the studio here with a Versace watch, if you get to know, and I like it. I love it. It's nice. He's been privileged to have had job at Cocoa Board from the 8 years of the NPP, at least, if not. And had good job, good. How many people did he support within that period? How many people? To agree to come on studio and say that we'll be sacked. Who has been sacked? We only ask people to go home if you are not employed through the right channel. And not the business of telling us that we've sacked people and we've sacked people, Who has been sacked?
Thank you.
Who? And who?
Let me bring it up.
Since it was personal.
No, it's not personal. It's not personal. I like your watch. You're wearing a Versace watch. It's very nice.
It was personal.
No, but it's Versace. I'm not lying.
Oh,
nice.
Why are you doing this?
If you know that this is not one of the best watches you buy.
I don't know what I've seen Versace and I say I like it.
You are exposing your ignorance about
how about ignorance?
Oh yeah, very ignorant.
Oh, so you're wearing a fake Versace. Is that what it means?
It is not. But then I'm just telling you that
let's make progress.
I think that
let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning. Wish everybody here good morning, especially my brother Fifi Bafo, and don't mind him.
Oh no, I'll respond. I will deal.
So first of all, let me commend every Ghanaian who participates in today and tomorrow's cleanup exercise. Civic responsibilities is essential. But my prayer is that tomorrow becomes more than just a cleanup. I hope that it becomes a national cleanup. Because you see, contrary to what my brother Wanda is saying, flooding is a governance issue, not merely a sanitation issue. And tomorrow, today and tomorrow, what we are going to do is just to address the symptom. But ultimately, we ought to address
the causal factors.
Yeah, you understand? Because the flooding issues we are having, in my opinion, is a structural one. You understand? Because for you to say, you understand that us as citizens have responsibility, but there's a reason why we created governance. See, when you go, or government, when you go into the philosophy of why governments were created, and you make reference to the contract, Thomas Hobbes and Montesquieu, they are thinking that man in its natural state, or life in its natural state, is chaotic. And so we all see the bit of our powers to government. You understand? So a government will create a system where our right to life, and when we say right to life, it does not simply mean that shall not kill. A life that has dignity, you understand, will be fulfilled. So it's the duty of government to want to create an anti-flooding system. But after the rains, they will come. I agree that the rains that caused the flooding the last time was unusual.
Yeah.
But if we had the right system in place, if we had stuck to our planning schemes, if we had enforced the law, because this is not about somebody throwing dust, having been captured. Throwing dust like the person did is a crime.
Yeah.
So in a serious country, what will you do? You go and arrest the person. Now what's the impact? The impact is not that somebody's liberties will be legally taken. But there's also a deterrent factor. Because if I see that somebody has been arrested because they were caught throwing dust in the gutter, I won't do that. You understand? My brother also made reference to somebody throwing a yogurt, having taken yogurt. But that's also a crime. That's also a crime. Enforce the law.
Even in Rwanda here, the person would have apprehended.
Enforce the law. So, Wanda, please let's understand. When we say we understand that citizens ought to be responsible, but it's the duty of government to use the powers that we've granted them and more. You understand? To ensure that citizens are responsible. And you ensure that by enforcing the law. So that when somebody dumps rubbish, it's a crime.
How many people can you arrest? You're a lawyer.
Arrest the person. I'm a lawyer. Go arrest the person.
How many people can you arrest?
When I say so that's why you create a system. You must have enough police to be arresting some of these things. Or if you think that police create other under Joshua, we had a CD, what's the CDRs? Yeah. So you can create systems if you think that the police to be dealing with. At the end of the day, we have created a law that says that thou shalt not dump refuse onto the streets. Now, what is the essence of that law if we can't enforce it?
It's even technology, right?
Exactly.
You mount cameras.
When you go to Singapore, you see a policeman, but nobody chews gum. You don't chew gum and dump the gum. You see that there's law. So we want government to use the powers that we have given them. Now, that's the point I want to make first. Secondly, the question is, why does this keep on happening? Because like every time after flooding, you see the script. National Day of Cleaning. You understand? So the rains comes, there's flood, people unfortunately pass, we show sympathy, we form committees, there's cleanup.
So let me, this is a live feed from the ground, and this is some of our Adom colleagues joining the bus stop boys to clean. That is Tema Kunkum there. Earlier, I saw Sister Sandy pass by. So I think this should be Tema. Okay, this is not Tema. This is a lady that. So this is Sister Sandy. This one is Sister Sandy here. They are joining. We'll bring you our guys as well.
There are men there to identify the men.
This what?
There are also men there. Identify the men.
For Adom Day, I think we only sent women when they were going. I saw them. Okay, so Tema is in the yellow. About the women. Exactly. I'm talking about women.
Don't mind him.
Why would I even see the men?
Exactly. I agree with you.
Let me look at the women.
Look.
I'm looking at the women.
So, Kojo, can I continue?
Yes, you can. But kudos to the bus stop boys.
Yeah.
Thank God, whoever gave them a bus has done well. I saw their bus today. It was really good.
You see, so it's nice. You give them a bus, but the point is a structure. You know, there's what we call urban enterprise. Mm-hmm. You understand? And here, Fifi says something, and even though I agreed with his incubator, I agreed entirely with him. That's that we must take seriously the urban enterprise of cleaning. Really, I think this National Day of Cleaning, it is optics, it won't solve any problem. And we have urban enterprises, as in companies, maybe private companies, that government can create a system through licenses and regulating them. Who should be dealing with this cleaning? That we all travel. You go to some of these advanced countries that we go and then we take pictures. At 4 a.m., private companies that have been given contracts by local assemblies to clean the cities. They actually scrub the streets every day. Yes, we need to deal with this issue holistically. You understand? And indeed, it's a way of even creating wealth, creating a situation where we'll have more revenue into the state and creating jobs.
And even creating wealth for people. Exactly. I mean, we all saw how Zoomline was created, right?
Exactly.
From taking care of filth.
Because filth is money.
Yes.
It's cash. Hard cash. Mm-hmm. You understand? But this business of some flooding has happened. Unfortunately, some of our computers have passed. We saw cars being taken, and then the politicians use optics. Then you see quickly the minister goes. I stand with you. National Day of Cleaning, and beyond that, nothing happens. Understand? We ought to put structure to some of these things. There ought to be a system put in place by government to deal with flooding, and that would include, like my brother said, the urban enterprise of having companies that will do this cleaning. Then that way to be a because then you have a contract with them. You understand? He also mentioned the sorting out of the garbage. You understand? But yes, I know that this is all nice and clean and all, but it does not solve the problem. All it does is, yes, immediately we must clean the debris. But we are dealing with the symptoms. Yeah. He mentioned the issue of Ramsar sites. I know that we've promoted the idea of going to demolish. See, the fact that sometimes we are very reactionary in nature. And so this issue happens. And so we have laws. And we ought not only to be faithful to the laws, but we must also enforce the laws. Now you talk about Ramsar sites. We have a law that governs how Ramsar sites are even created. And the question is, how many of these Ramsar sites has the government of Ghana even paid what's called for? Because when you are creating a Ramsar site, you first of all start by you consult the District Assembly and the landowners. But there's no ownerless land in Ghana.
Yeah.
2, when you've done that, then the government uses its power of eminent domain. So you compulsorily acquire the land. The minister designates the land as a protected area. Now let's ask government, how many of these Ramsar sites have we paid compensation?
All of them.
Not true.
Which ones?
No, those data hasn't been paid for. Apart from Sakumo, only about 2.
That's where they were doing the demolition.
No, but right now they've earmarked all the places. But the point is but the point is that you say you want to create Ramsar site, but the point is that you've not paid compensation for.
And we haven't got
No, you must pay.
The process, the payment is done at the end. It's not.
Who told you?
You need a full process first.
No. Listen, read this part of law. Listen, the law says that go to read section 5, section 6, section 7 of the Wildlife Management Act. And please, in this program, you finish and then you can rebut. But this is a law. The wildlife, in fact, I have the law here. Let me quote the law.
Yeah, go to the.
Let me quote the law. Yeah, you understand. Now when we go to section, now establishment of protected areas.
Yes, go ahead.
Subject to subsection 2 of this section, the minister, on the advice of the commission, may by legislative instrument establish a protected area, including a marine protected area. Now when you go to section 7, they list the protected areas. That includes Ramsar sites. Now 2, the minister shall not, he shall not establish a protected area unless 1A, the minister is satisfied that the local authority and the landowners of the proposed area have been consulted by the commission in the manner prescribed by the regulation. 2, that the LI that established the protected area satisfy the conditions for compulsory acquisition. And as Article 20 of the Constitution, by providing for 1, the prompt payment of fair and adequate compensation. Now he said that he shall not do this. He shall not establish. He shall not unless they have what? They've paid, among other things, paid prompt. So don't come and tell me that it is after they've created.
There are processes.
It shall not. Listen, you see, it shall not. The point that they have not paid. It shall not. You have created these Ramsar sites and you are denying Ghanaians of their 2, 3. You see, we need to have a clear understanding and indication of what Ramsar sites are and what wetlands are. You understand? Because due to our laziness in creating systems, we are easy to lay blames on issues where they are not really issues. Because you go to a country like Denmark, you go to a country like Holland, they're actually lying below sea level. But because of the creation of a comprehensive system, when flooding happens, because maybe the rainfall is over 1,000 mm. Our own was how much? What was the volume?
160.
Go and do a research. How many countries, 100 and something, caused what's called flooding? So the problem is a fundamental lack of system. And that's why I disagree with him vehemently when he says it's government. But the duty of government as part of the obligation to protect our lives. Article 13. That's why I said we should give that interpretation a positive one. Article 13 doesn't only mean thou shalt not kill. It means that you have a duty as government to also give your citizens a life that has dignity. You understand? And how can you give yourself a life that has dignity when you sleep, you fail to create systems? You understand? That will prevent some of this flooding. And then quickly say what? We should be responsible. I should create. First, use the power of giving you to make me responsible. That's your job as government. You understand? So listen, we have an issue. We should desist from how we've handled these problems, dealing with the symptoms, and going to sleep. I can bet you, next year around this time, and you can keep this video, we'll come here again, and we'll talk about national cleanup, sympathy, what? And what would we have done? Because, see, one of the critical reasons why we voted in 2024 and voted 50 people out was because they gave us a leadership that caused us to lose faith in political leadership. And so we cannot have reset if we do not restore confidence in political leadership. And that reset agenda will fail if we do not deliberately create systems. You understand? Create systems that will tackle a flooding and the incidence of flooding. And we should stop that narrative that wants to put the blame on the citizens. Because the duty of government, and it will always be the duty of government to ensure that the laws that we created, the people of Ghana created, among other things, one, to give us, not just protect our lives, but give us quality life. Two, to protect our liberties. Three, to grant us the opportunity of pursuing our own happiness. And none of these three can be fulfilled. Understand? If government sleeps and allow flooding to become pandemic, among all the other things, we will talk about sanitation. And once again, it is a duty of government to ensure that our system is clean. And that's why we have laws. So it's not an excuse to say that how many people can you arrest. It's not an excuse. The point is that you take our taxes, we pay our taxes, we cede a bit of our power. Somebody merely by wearing navy blue with the coat of arms can ask me to stop. He can even arrest me on suspicion of having committed a crime. Why did we see those powers? Because sometimes somebody can arrest you. You know that if we do mano, I can beat the person. And yet the person can arrest me because we have ceded a bit of our government, of our powers to government. To what end? So our government uses those powers to enforce the creation of systems that will protect our own lives. So we don't want to hear those excuses. Okay. You see, so immediately, tomorrow, we are going to clean up. I implore all Ghanaians to join. Yeah. And what we quickly want to see a system that not only will that system prevent flooding, but will do that without compromising people's right to their properties. You understand? And so toward that end, all the Ramsar sites that government has not paid compensation for, steps must be taken to pay compensation for. No, it is important. You understand? And two, we ought to understand the Ramsar sites because the law also gives the clear coordinates. So the law that created the Ramsar, so I mentioned a while ago, there's also a wetlands management LI that has, in particular terms, described all the wetlands in Ghana. And not just describe them, also giving their coordinates and the extent of those Ramsar sites. You understand? I'm saying this because I've realized that there seems to be a fundamental lack of understanding of where these Ramsar sites are. And we are failing to have regard to the clear terms of the law. Because, yes, we must enforce the Ramsar sites. If somebody has built a property in the land, we must clear the land. We must not only clear land, we must also hold the people who sat down and watch them to build there without taking action. Because you can't convince me that when those buildings were being put up, people who had authority did not see. We must force people to work.
We saw in some of the demolition exercises where an officer was being accused of taking money from those who were building. Yeah. And then at that time, he had to say, hey, man, just can be our but we pay to you.
Should they understand? Yes. So let the people who are enforcing the law, let them take into serious consideration the clear particulars of where these Ramsar sites are. If there are any lands within those Ramsar sites, they should, and if they want to clear, they should clear. But they should not only clear, they should also hold the officers who sat there, whose duty it was to ensure that the laws of our country are respected. Yeah. And finally, we have planning schemes in this country.
Yes.
We have planning schemes. We have rules that govern planning schemes, but there are rules that even govern rezoning. Let us just enforce them. Let the hydraulic, let all those departments whose duty it is to create that environment where we can live in dignity. A great man said that the greatness of Africa, the greatness of Ghana is covered or is shrouded in its chaos. I implore on His Excellency John Mahama to be the leader who bring that order that will unleash the greatness of this country. Okay. And we cannot be great so far as flooding does this to us. And the solution is not in the cleanup. Okay. Let us use urban enterprise. Let's follow what my brother here. It shouldn't matter that he's in the Familiar Spirit Party. Let's follow what he said. Let's create companies. Let them deal with this cleaning issue. What about the cleaner coming?
Even the bus stop boys could be given a contract to clean a part of Accra when it comes to the gutters. Yes.
We empower them.
Zoom Lion, I'm told their contract has been reinstated after it was taken off because of...
Oh, they took the contract from Zoom Lion.
Oh, I mean, some of their contracts were suspended. You remember?
Oh, no, I don't know. I didn't even know.
Oh, there was one. Now, after the flood, so and then there are other companies that I know of. Okay, I've forgotten the name, but there are several companies that can be empowered to be cleaning the gutters when they are giving contracts. Yeah, Prof. From where Dankwa landed.
Kojo, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
To my colleagues as well, and your viewers. Let me take your platform to say that I think on Monday we have a performance tracker to be launched by our Institute of Economic Research and Public Policy.
Okay.
And that starts with this administration.
Okay.
1 year. It will be done at Game Park.
Let's go for this first.
We want to invite your viewers to this.
Okay.
Monday.
Where's the process?
Where will it be held?
10 o'clock.
Where?
Game Park, Moot Court. Yeah.
It's a process. It takes me.
Kojo, it's a welcome news from our president, a good initiative. And I'll join my colleagues in saying that, well, we must support. We call on all Ghanaians to support this initiative. It's a good one. I must also say that every Ghanaian support clean environment. Every Ghanaian support clean environment. Because one, it affects your health. It affects productivity. It affects, so many things in a country if you don't. And Ghana, I must say, we have struggled with the sanitation issue over a decade, regardless of several initiatives. And Wanda mentioned the National Day of Sanitation, the National Sanitation Day launched in 2014. And then we also have other initiatives also, that of the Operation Clean Your Frontage. If you remember, Operation Clean Your Frontage also came.
Yeah.
And then we have Zoom Lion interventions as well. Then the Assembly bylaws. Regardless of all these initiatives, we've seen several cholera outbreaks. We've seen several floods because the drains are already choked. We have seen so many issues in our country, regardless of all these initiatives we had. And I'm concerned whether the National Cleaning Day will actually address the root cause of our problem. I would have loved a national waste management policy. I would have loved instead of a National Cleaning Day. I'm concerned because we have seen these issues before. So when I heard the announcement, for me it was like a script. It was like a movie to be staged again. Because we go through this cycle every year. And when can we have a stop to this? It's going to be difficult. So when I saw some of these developments, yes, we welcome the news, very good initiatives, but then we still have not addressed the fundamental problems that we have as a country, And I've heard not only Wanda, but from other key people that this administration and those technocrats saying that it was unusual flood that occurred. For me, if we had prepared well, I'm not sure as a country we would have gone through this. And my good friend cited Holland. A friend of mine traveled to Holland and they passed through a bridge. They got out of the bridge and he was told by a friend they had passed through the water, under the water. He didn't know they were even passing through the water tunnel. That's how people have developed their country. You prepare towards the rains. It will never. It's only in Africa we teach our children this song, rain, rain, go away, go and come another day. We tell them. So right from the beginning, we hate. But that should not be the issue. Now, I don't know whether, Kojo, you've chanced on the report from the Auditor General, the 2025.
2025. Get time, and we'll also encourage your viewers to read that report. Damn it. They flagged about 10 distinct acting findings from 10 regions across 25 MMDAs. Check the capital project budget. About 25 district assemblies raised 106 million Ghana cedi. Check the figure well. 106 million Ghana cedi. Per the law, paragraph 139 of the budget preparation guidelines and the section 20 of the the Act 2016 or so, tells you 20% of the amount that you raised in the assembly must go into capital projects.
Okay, just hold that for me. I'll be back to you. Let me take our viewers to where my colleague Stephen Mensah is standing by to give us a report on what's happening there. Stephen, what can you report?
Nungwa, and currently what you notice when you get here will be these individuals, residents and members of Zoom Lion and YE and all other agencies, security agencies are here on the streets of Nungwa, and they'll be engaging in the national exercise. Here at Nungwa, you'll notice one other thing will be that these shops have closed down. Currently, we understand that the Vice President is in, so we should be getting a briefing on the exercise. We understand she's going to partake on the exercise also. But then here at Nungwa, all these individuals, the residents and the security agencies are all hands in engaging in the exercise. I'll try and get some of these individuals to talk to, but then over here the shops are closed except for the individuals or the young people, children who are going to school. All the other individuals are all engaging in the exercise. We earlier saw the distribution of some PPEs, some nose masks, and some other equipments for the exercise. The distribution of shovels and wheelbarrows and other equipment such as brooms and other things have been distributed to the individuals who will be partaking in the exercise. There's been an entreatment and some conversations from the Ghana Armed Forces and the Zoom Lion and the waste collection agencies entreating the residents to try as much as possible come on board with the exercise also to ensure that the exercise is successful. Let me get close to these persons and try and talk to them. Auntie, good morning. Sebi biaboko. You must say mukita prime and
Mr. Bepla, Obaya Jumanu be my me to me, Mrs. Afilani, my bar, no Mzimba, say no to the Yabaya, Yamadra, Masoli, Mr. Abayama me.
But I didn't see that more. Would you say I do at the park?
Well, I can't be sorry, I mean to me. No,
but me, let me be say exercise way. Would you say in the DBR?
Minimum bone, minimum. Me join the cry.
Okay. So that was one other person, and she's been telling us about the exercise. Auntie, it's good morning.
Morning.
Me who say also kita prayer in Sanya mano.
Me pacho nyo.
O to ade wa no be.
Me pacho me to do inside.
Inside. Na in fear head na what to ade wa na. O join say exercise we ya de pa.
Oh, and the moya na ya pa me ni ajimu pa moya de. Me ba habaya almost by 6 years ni. Na de me ni aji pa moya de pa me ni aji. Sa na nka de bia ye na nka e beboa. Ai it go tem na de nka e beboa pa. De moya na me ni aji pa.
Yeah, that's it, baby. Okay. So she's telling us that she sells some items in the market, but then she's happy with the exercise and would admonish that more of these exercises are done. But then we've seen the Vice President here. We've also seen the Minister for Gender and Children and Social Protection also here, and currently they are receiving a briefing. But then I would see and try and get more people to talk to you. Chief. Good morning. Sebi biaboko. Oka exercise no. Okay, exercise no. Na me so kita pa na bibia.
Oh, there was a me shop wo we no anim honum. Timaye wo honum.
Na o hwe se obebo ankofo na ko marketing masa na.
Me hwe se maybe ye pe mboa bia na ma abo mo.
So one other person telling us about what he's doing as part of his contribution to the exercise. But then you would also notice when you get here on the streets of Nungwa that the road has been closed down for this exercise to continue. The road had been closed down for the exercise to continue, and most of these individuals are in the drains trying to clear as much as possible all the litter and refuse in the drains. I'd see and try and get to some of the people who are engaged in the exercise. Chief, I know you're busy, but then when did you start this exercise? Okay, so he's unwilling to talk to us currently about the exercise. But then, so far, this is what we can report from Nungwa. Currently, the exercise is ongoing. Most of the streets in Nungwa have closed down for the exercise, and the vice president will be getting a briefing on the exercise. I'd get closer and.
We also contribute negatively to the outcomes. There are times when, sometimes even the person who suffers may not necessarily have been the one who caused
who you be hearing with
garbage into our drains. Maybe that is the reason why somebody's house is finally flooded. Because we are blocking the water from taking its natural course. So this should be a wake-up call to all of us. We all know the right things. We don't need any sermon. We know. Let's do the right things and protect each other and protect our country. But I want to thank you all for coming out to help, because this is the time we should all show love. We should all support each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that was a message from the vice president. She says that she's thanking Ghanaians for coming out and engaging in the exercise. But then a bit of updates. We've seen this way. We've seen the vice president here. We've seen the Greater Accra Regional Minister also here. We've seen the Minister for Gender also here. Also present to be some members from the anti-flood task force, the post-flood task force, the mitigation task force. We've seen the Honorable Stan Dodbe and the Chief of Staff for the Vice President's office also here. But then we understand that the Vice President will be joining the exercise. She will be desalting some of the drains over here also. I would see if I could get a response from the Greater Accra Regional Minister. But then what you'll be seeing will be the Vice President engaging in the exercise currently. And this exercise is part of the government's commitment to ensuring that there's no when in the occurrence of a heavy rain, or again there's not going to be an impact as we've recorded in some weeks now. Yeah, so the Vice President is engaging in a desalting exercise currently, and she's been talking about ensuring that we as Ghanaians make sure that we do not do anything that hurts us as Ghanaians, in the sense of placing refuse in our drains, desalting our drains as often as possible, and basically ensuring and making sure that we act as good citizens of the country. The exercise started pretty early, as much as at the time when we got here around 7:38, the exercise had already begun. We understand that it is ongoing in most parts of this community in Nungwa, and each and everywhere we've got so far, we've seen the exercise ongoing. In fact, we've seen the armed forces in most parts of the Nungwa where we got here. We've seen some members of the traditional council also here, all engaging in the exercise. But then, interestingly, we've seen the Greater Accra Regional Minister also desilting the drains. We've seen the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection also engaging in the desilting exercise. I'll try and get her thoughts once she's done with the exercise. But then, previously, we've heard from both ministers, and the Greater Accra Regional Minister, in fact, has been telling us about the specifics with this exercise and when and how often they'll be doing this, and Ghana's the region's preparedness ahead of the rainy season. We've heard from the Ghana Meteorological Agency, who have told us that we should be expecting some large amounts of rainfall this season, during this rainy season. In fact, so the Greater Accra Regional Minister has spoken extensively about it. So it's no surprise that she's here today talking about or engaging in the exercise. We've seen the Vice President, and she has got some of the personal protective equipment given to her. We've seen some gloves being presented to her for the exercise. We've seen these personal protective equipment, the gloves, the nose masks, and all these equipment being given to them to ensure that the exercise is successful. I'll get closer to some of these residents who are partaking in the exercise to get their thoughts on what they make of it and what the situation will be here in this community. Auntie, Pacho, good morning. Maybe so say, okay, exercise we home.
Me Pacha, me can.
Then now, because me who say we should close and abibia.
Yeah, me you got me ye free one mo sa de aba no mu say. Na o maji prayer ni say o mo to aso.
Iti me bese me ti ase ha no ensure to a ha mo pa.
Ha ye pa. Enye easy. Ye bre.
Ha say, inso ne me bese me ti ase ha mo say.
Inso to na you got no bon say enwula no abete ni emu private. Emu asene nyama enye easy high pa.
But intiasa ya say mwana mode ball and good gatani.
Yeah, because obi mfi baby fa ball and megum ya ye wa around no ya na ye ball no ya na ye eni ye digum.
Yeah, that's baby. So this one in fact has been admitting to the challenges the community and this constituency is facing, and she says that it's pretty evident that they are a major contributor to the waste that it will be noticed in drains whilst the clearing is ongoing. I'd try and get this gentleman to talk to us. Good morning.
Morning.
I see you did a nose marks inside.
Yeah.
Why did?
We all have Ghana.
But then, from what we've gathered, we've seen bottle plastics in this drains. Does it show that you poor are the ones doing this?
Yeah, we are the cause of this because we cannot put all the blames on the government. We are the ones taking in the bottled waters, these stuff, and all the kind of stuff that we are doing. So it is we that are at fault, not the government.
I want to understand also. Do you have enough waste collection sites over here? Do you have refuse dumps over here that you put your waste inside?
Yeah, there is a boiler just behind this place.
You were saying?
There is a boiler just behind this place that we need to dump our refuse over there. But as a typical black man who you know, as a Ghanaian that we know, we are not helping each other. We are not helping the government. We are just aiding.
You are not helping.
We are not helping Ghana. We are not helping the government. Because one thing that you can just see a black man just having a bottle of water. Instead of him just putting it in a refuse dump, he would rather put it on the floor, which would end up entering into the drainage, which will cause this kind of stuff.
Are you saying you are not part of the people who put the refuse in there?
I cannot take myself out. We are all at fault.
I see. But then, do you have these informal sector, the Aboboyas collecting the refuse from here?
Yeah, we have informal sector.
And how often do they come here?
With the Aboboya, you can often see them, but with the boy that goes around taking rubbish to go and dump it at the refuse dump. You can see them each and every day. But sometimes you give it to them and they also go and leave it at a different place, which also piles up and becomes a problem to us.
Right. But how much, one last question before you go, how much does it cost to dump your refuse inside?
Well, sometimes it costs just 2 cedis, 3 cedis.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So I'll get closer, but this gentleman has been giving us a briefing as to what the situation is here in this constituency on the exercise they have. I'd get closer because the Zoom Lion company is having a briefing on the silting of the drains. Chief, I know you're occupied, but then I want to pick your thought. Ejuma muye, more confidence mo betumi wi ene.
Okay, ebeboa.
I don't know just ebeboa
because the president was starting ebeboa say ensuno to a fire. We be our kwaduma unu obaba na ensuno na afa wo dem. Abobo ya nse be mo say won fa be mla mo na place mo na etim tobi na ese etim fa ya adwuma ya be say president say abobo ya na waje atum okada na waje atum on to abobo ya na
me be say me tell say nti o ka say ensuno to last time na efa hanu
say more than almost 3 billion cash.
But me be say me tell say ade gata we in fear he say na mu yimu ache.
Every time you buy you papa biasa. Yes,
today one is so effective.
Sorry, and you were saying something.
Today one is so effective than as it used to happen.
I see.
Yes.
But why do you think so?
Because it look like the enforcement. People need the enforcement. They have to implement. They have to enforce the law. Because looking at the whole area, if you go to community even houses, people are selling the houses that they are not coming. But by the help of the military guys that are coming, look like everybody is willing to do. So we want to buy. There should be enforcement. There should be more enforcement. Not that it is that. Though president doesn't stay here, we are staying here, and we are the cause of all this. Not any member. We are the community that with the flood cause. They are the main cause of it. Because looking at the gutter, you look at the nature of the gutter. It's very bad. So is that the president who have to instruct us or minister or MC? No, we have to implement it. And I thank the chief of this town. He is doing a lot. So we want to pray that we, the individuals, should also enforce it.
But then it's clear. There's a thing that says. Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes, it's very true, and we have to base on it to work. Because I don't see say Joy FM, Joy Prime, and Amimess are coming here today. It's very good for them to come, but we have to also help them. Supposing that as we are working right now, and everything is going on well, I don't think you will come here. You have to also be at different area and report. But because of this, we are all here. But we thank the government that as they should implement the force, then everything can go well.
Right, thank you so much. So that was the communication from some of these individuals who are partaking in the exercise, and they are telling us about the fact that they need enforcement, and they admit to the suggestion that due to the presence of the armed forces and these other security agencies, there's a much better enforcement of this exercise, given that there are much larger numbers from the houses and homes here in this constituency on the street engaging in the exercise. I must admit there's a pretty bad stench over here due to this exercise. We've seen some residue and some remnants and some items that have been distorted from the drains over here, and that's pretty much giving the stench I'm noticing or smelling over here. But then a bit of updates, we want to tell you that currently the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection is here. In fact, she's the Member of Parliament for this constituency. Greater Regional Minister and the Vice President, and these individuals and these government apparatus are here all supporting the exercise. We are currently in the market, and this is the Nungwa market, and currently the exercise is ongoing. We've heard from some of the traders who tell us that they're unable and will not open their shops until this exercise is done. We've seen some of these waste collectors. In fact, we've seen Zoom Lion here at this market, the Nungwa market, and they'll be collecting the debris from the sanitation exercise. And this sanitation exercise, a bit of update, will be part of government's commitment to ensuring that as part of the flood mitigation effort, this will be an exercise by the government of Ghana. We've heard from the Vice President, and I'll very soon get closer to her to get her thoughts also, and the Greater Accra Regional Minister on the exercise. But then previously, we've seen and heard from them, and they tell us that the duty and the onus lies on all Ghanaians to ensure that we clear as much debris and prevent the floods from injuring or hurting anyone. But then this is the Nungwa market. Currently, we've seen some refuse that's going to be collected by the Zoom Lion company, and some of the informal sectors, the Abobo Yatas we normally call them, and they'll be collecting the refuse that have been collected so far from the market. I've also seen that they are trying to break some slabs that have been created on top of some gutters, and these gutters will be serving as drains for free flow of water. But then there means some slabs that have been created on them. I've seen the armed forces and some of the individuals from the community trying to destroy the slabs. The Vice President is inside the market engaging with some of the market women here. But then these market women are currently armed with brooms, with shovels, and with some equipment to be aiding in the exercise, the current exercise that's ongoing. There's also the there's also a communication that's going around. We've seen a bus, a truck, I must admit, a truck with a speaker on it, and it's going around and it's communicating to the traders and all the individuals who are here to engage in the national sanitation exercise. But inside here is the market. This is the market, the Nungwa market. But then this is the CEO for Zoom Lion speaking to us.
That's how I used to listen there.
Yeah, but you know that you have deployed your personnel and also equipment.
Tell us live on television now. Yeah. Tell us in summary, this exercise is going on nationwide, but this is an eyesore.
One of the things is that we want to thank His Excellency the President. This is a very noble idea, and it calls for leadership. You see, every country is the leader that leads, and then sanitation helps. When you go to Dubai now, the Sheikh Malcolm, he's the leader. You go to Kigali, the President Kigali is the leader. So President Mahama is leading a very good cause, and we have to appreciate him for the bold step of leadership. He's somebody who's sanitation on the side. Now, this as a result of a challenge within the district assemblies capacity, and then you need a container attendant. So this exercise, the Abobo Ya people come and dump here, and then they collect money. They are not supposed to dump here. They are supposed to go to a transfer station. So His Excellency the President Mahama says that he's reviving the transfer station. And you see, when you have this thing like this, and it's within the market, you need a container so that the market women will bring their waste there. It is not for Abobo Ya people to come here. So the container attendant takes money and then allow this thing to happen.
But it must be enforced. The laws must be enforced. So what do you expect the assembly?
So immediately is that the assembly must ensure that the container attendant, only the market women bring their waste here. Apart from them, nobody should bring waste here. And we are going to support government to instill the enforcement of bylaws to ensure that people do the right thing.
Thank you. But one of your main mandates will be to ensuring that these markets are clean. What are you doing on your part?
So one of my points is that we will provide dustbins. So when you give the market dustbins, individual dustbins, they won't bring the waste here. They will put the waste into the dustbins and then people will go and pick it up.
The comments about the larger community, that's the Ghana community. community. How are you looking to ensure that sanitation is...
One of the things is that Zoom Lion is in 29 countries. So we've done a good work in Ghana, and we've now going into 29. We have the expertise, we have the experts, and we can manage it up. And so we are going to put in plans and ensure that some of these things doesn't happen again.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So that was the Chief Executive Officer for Zoom Lion Company Limited, Joseph Japan, and he's been giving an update as to what they'll be doing, because what you see behind us will be an eyesore, and this will be where most of the refuse has been collected, and it's been dumped here at the market, and he's been given an update as to what they'll be doing. He says that he will be looking to collaborate much more with government to ensuring that some of these waste are collected as soon as possible. He's also been talking about ensuring that government and Ghanaians are provided with waste collection sites, to ensuring that the places, the markets are clean. So this is what we can report so far from the Nungwa market and Nungwa constituency.
Thank you. All right, so that was Stephen Mensah coming to us from the Nungwa market there. So that's, let's wrap it up on the sanitation there and then bring in other matters. Prof, maybe I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap up and then we can move on, or I can move on.
Yeah. When I was watching the video, about two questions came to mind. What is the structural investment that will be committed after this week? And then, is it a one-day event or a sustainable sanitation policy that we have to put in place? Because let me backtrack. I was on floor talking about the report from Auditor General, and it's directly linked to what happened and what is happening today. Assembly collects 106 million, and they're supposed to invest into capital project within the district assemblies. 20%
of that money.
20% should be about 24 million.
What you said, 160, right?
160.
106.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so 10% to be like 100.
20% is about 24 million.
Okay.
But if you check the same reports, the assemblies about 25 spent 2 million. Some didn't even spend at all
on capital.
And it includes this project, the drainage within their localities. This is a report that we have. Today, we should have called all the MMDAs. They should be doing this. Not the vice president, not the people in the area, not the stops that we have. Because when you pay money to government, as a citizen, as a business person, you expect that money paid to come back to you in a form of road construction, in a form of gutters that must be distilled. But today, where are they? The money was collected, they collected the funds, someone will say sat in the account. So it's not about lack of resources. They were able to raise that amount, then spend less, rather channel those funds into capital recurrent expenditures. And it can tell you, almost 18 million cannot be accounted for. It sits in Auditor General's report. Okay. And today, look at people who are struggling.
This one says, appear dankwa to the whole Ewiase. Well said, create systems and supervise us to do the right thing. Give us quality life, simplicity. Thank him for me. That's from my friend, Lawyer Michui. Lawyer Michui, good morning to you. I trust you're good. So a lot of you have been sending him messages as well. I saw one person on here. This one says, Kojo, what are we doing today? How do cities with 10 million plus population manage their waste? Are we refusing to learn from successful city managers across the world? That's a question that he is asking too. Well, let's move on and talk about Nkoko Nkete. Well, the minister gave an update when he met the Parliament Government Assurances Committee of Parliament, and a question about Nkoko Nkete came up, and he said that, well, Nkoko Nkete is doing well. He says it's very successful, and that some farmers have now begun eating their product because the marketing is quite on the low. He says they plan to now bring a proposal to Parliament to ensure that all MPs take part in the Kokon Ketenkete. We're asking, another fiasco in the making when it comes to Kokon Ketenkete or not. Let me start with the wonder.
So this project, the intention of government prior to even coming to government was that we spend so much in importing poultry products in this country. Mm-hmm. A large chunk of our forex goes to the countries like Brazil, importing frozen chicken products or poultry products. And government's intention was to reduce the influx, if you want to call it, or the exit of our forex in that regard. And so the idea was, one, to ensure that we produce locally, like what you see with the Dako farms, the Fariwa farms, and all the big farms that you have. Another challenge was that our protein requirement, if you're going to cut off importation, you have to make alternative arrangements to augment the shortfall that will arise if you decide not to import. And so the pressure on the city also would have been taken care of in this regard. Number three, you would have created jobs. You would have created employment for young people who are willing to enter or go into poultry or farming, as it were, in producing some of these bets. Yes, the name suggests that government was going to give them day-old chicks, smaller day-old chicks, in order that they are able to rear it and all that. There have been challenges, and those challenges are not to say that that will be the end of the project. Indeed, government's intention was to create jobs, augment the poultry, stop the exit of forex, and then also to help the local farmer have their own chicks on the farms. That has kick-started. And some of the challenges we are having is that people are beginning to, instead of put that on the market for sale and make some ends meet, people are beginning to do their own thing with it. That's on the latter side. Obviously, even if you put it on the market, people will definitely have to buy it and all that. But that is not the intention. The intention is to develop the local poultry industry properly. And you know that the full chain of production of chicken goes into many other things. The feathers is also for a purpose. The dung, or what do you call it? Is it the dung? The waste is also to support those in agriculture that are growing plants and all that, and food crops and all that. Then you also are creating an avenue for those in the sawmill industry to provide the sawdust for the rearing of chicks and all that. There are different categories of rearing chicken. One is the broilers, the layers, and then what's the other one? There are three of them. Broilers, layers, and whatever. Let me leave it to the two. In advanced countries, for instance, they are not allowed to eat the layers because the layers are fed with special medication in order that they are able to lay the eggs, and therefore they believe that layers, are infused with too much chemicals, and therefore should not be eaten. Unfortunately, in our part of the world, that's the one we like. That's the hard one. The hard meat one is the layers.
So question is, where do their layers go? They come here.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm getting there. So we seem to have, a delicacy in taste for the hard ones, and unfortunately, that's what we do. But the broilers, which is, so the broilers, which is supposed to be the meat, and it's rather tender and all that. Surprisingly, that's what we don't like. If you go to the chobas, and that we all know, we prefer the one that is hard and not the soft one. So, truth is that challenges have come up. Government's intention is to resolve some of these challenges. Again, the idea is to put people in what we call clusters of businesses. For instance, 5 of us come together to start that project, and that way we're able to maintain some level of accountability, some level of reporting standards, some level of even paying our taxes if it were, and then also to be responsible for what we have and grow the farms. Unfortunately, and it's unfortunate that certainly again we come back to the attitude of the beneficiary. People always think that anything coming from government, once it's government, is free, and therefore we should spend it. We always have to battle with this entitlement mentality where people have an opportunity to benefit from government and all they do is that, oh, it's government money. It's buying money is free, so let's eat it, let's chop it, let's spend it. That cannot be the way going forward. And we need, as going forward, to conscientize people on how some of these things are done. Number two, we also need to track.
I wonder, can I ask a question on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, government knew this before they rolled out, right? You knew that when it comes to government project, if you give it to people, their thinking is this. We've seen it with Maslock. So why didn't we just go straight and to deal with the commercial farmers?
To say this is to conclude that everything else has collapsed. We're seeing the pockets of challenges or problems. Even if you had the most perfect of system, there will be challenges which has to be dealt with. And we're saying that these are some of the challenges coming up. We're not saying that everybody who took the day old chiefs have squandered it. No, that's not the case. We're saying that some people, some individuals, obviously, and in any setup, when you set up a program, you are sure to have some challenges coming up here and there, which you would want to deal with. And these are the things coming up, or some of the things coming up. But indeed, there are many other people who have also benefited and are trumpeting it and telling the whole world how they have benefited, how it's helped them to elevate their living standards and all that.
How?
So it is not
how have they elevated their living standards?
How? Did you say how?
Yes.
If once upon a time I needed day old chiefs for my farms, don't forget, some people already had the farms and were not having access to day old chiefs because they didn't have the funds to buy it. It costs you a certain amount to buy one, and you want to buy 1,000, it costs you a certain amount. So let's assume it costs you 10 Ghana cedis to buy one. For me to buy 1,000 pieces, it means I will require some 10,000 Ghana cedis I don't have. Today, government gives me. I mean,
but do you know,
I should be excited.
Do you know how many we're giving to each beneficiary?
I should be excited.
Do you know how many we're giving?
We didn't give a flash figure to everybody, depending on your capacity.
You said for the household, yes, it was going to be 50.
Yes.
Now it wasn't 50 any longer. You reduced it to 15, and now even some people were giving 2 and 5.
That's not where the issue is. The issue is not about distribution.
No. There is an issue there because if your intent, no. We have to. If your intent is to what do we call it? Reduce importation of produce. How will you do that when you are giving 2 and 5 bets to people to rear?
You are missing the point. I'm saying that the issue is how much
get the point.
Was given. There's a total aggregate of how much governments have imported, and that is in the system. Whether it will be given to one person or given to 10,000 people, at the end of the day, that portion that was procured is in the system. And you're looking at the whole of Ghana. It's not just 1, 2, 3 people. Even if a household is giving 2 or 3, and they are able to grow that, that's for me.
Yesterday I spoke to the
But
minister.
I'm talking about
what you've done so far. You gave people 5 and 2 bets to rear. And I'm saying, you said your objective was
said
to
household. Your statement was household.
That's what
and I'm saying that the focus was not only household. There were also holder farmers who took portions. You are talking about household. You are showing one on your.
No. This is just a look. I'm saying that what you
don't worry about the number that was given to an individual or a household or the fact that they have grown it from what it is to what it is now.
Because what we gave to a household, we gave them 2.5.
Yes.
Out of that, because some of them cannot get market, they've started eating them.
No, I think that's what the minister said. The minister only talked about the challenges they are having. Some of the challenges they are having.
One of it is that marketing. There's no marketing for those who have been able to raise their bet and want to sell. There's no marketing. That has forced some people to start eating theirs. And 2. You started with the anchor farmers. You're not here to go to the anchor farmers. So the household you started, instead of 50, it came to 15 and 2s and 5s. How will you achieve your target?
For me, it's not the number you are giving, because number is based on capacity. If I have a capacity to take 1,000, who is going to give me 2?
What is the objective of the project?
Come again.
The objective of the project.
Objective of which
of the project?
I've mentioned that's what I said to you all along.
Exactly, yes.
And I'm saying that it is to reduce importation. Do households do they buy chicken? Yes, they do.
They do, yes.
So if a household now has a farm and decides that, okay, I want to be part of this project, and the household is given a certain quantity to grow, how is that?
And they start consuming.
How is that bad?
And they start consuming.
Do you know that the end goal of all of this, first of all, will be consumption?
Yes, I get it.
You know that for a fact.
I get it.
So for me, it is not about.
There's a question I want to ask. Let me ask that question.
Ahead.
Now, when you give me the bets, I rear them and I consume.
You're not even eligible for the next. Because that's a basis
I can't continue. So it means that there's an end.
Yeah, but that's a basis for eligibility. The basis for eligibility is that you have been able to grow your farm. If you don't grow your farm and the farm goes off, maybe because of a disaster affair, or something else you did that didn't go well, and it's natural, we can understand that. But where you deliberately take part in the process and waste it, who is going to give you next?
Anyway, Prof, coming here.
Kojo, this is a government flagship backyard pottery program. Flagship government backyard pottery program launched November, I think 2025 in Kumasi under the Feed Ghana agenda. A fulfilled NDC promised. I must say it, a fulfilled one. But I think we're struggling with the distribution scale. And let me be frank here and talk about the distribution, the 50 and another. The plan is to spend 3 million beds, distribute 3 million beds to 60,000 households across 276 constituencies.
Yeah.
That means that they are going to give 50 chicks plus the feed and technical assistance to households, plus the 50 anchor farmers you talked about. And we know the objective. We spend close to about $350 million or so on pottery product that we bring outside. So the government said, let me cut a portion. The president didn't tell us what will be the percentage. It's a cut. And we are worried about when our presidents or our ministers are giving promises with that target, and on Monday to show. Now, the idea is to increase the self-sufficiency rate from 12 to 75, stated in the same manifesto. As a whole, where are we now? I was shocked when the minister, yesterday, made that statement to the Assurance Committee. The name is Assurance Committee.
Government Assurance
Committee. He destroyed the program yesterday.
Oh. Why?
He destroyed the entire program.
Which program?
No, Nkokete program. Per his statement.
Why do you think so?
We understand every policy will have a challenge. We can't even discount it.
Yeah.
Every program or project, you have the issues. I'm also surprised, major flagship program of this administration are having challenges. 24 economy, 10 to 24 market. In Konketekete, the minister now tells us they are killing and eating the bird. Is that my duty to ensure that that program is fulfilled? No. But the whole sector minister tells us this. The self-sufficiency rate, where are we now? Is it 1 year? It was launched in 2025. Today, we are in July. Can we give the targets? Where are we now with that project? Sufficiency rate from 12 to 75%. You want to cut importation. We spend 350. Have we done the mathematics today? After 1 year, are we still spending the same amount? You bring in the pottery products, or we have reduced the amount? These are the things we need to ask the minister. Minister, after 1 year, tell us, where are we now? Percentage-wise, per your own target, where are we? Sufficiency rate and plus the importation, where are we? But if a minister tells us that they are killing the bird, the technical support, did they receive the technical support? Because apart from distributing 50 per household, plus the feed and the technical, the ventilations, are these individuals received all this support? For me, naturally, they are dying. They are dying. And you said they are distributing 2 or 3. But the policy says that we're supposed to get 50. The anchor farmers are not part.
I understand that when they were implementing, the consultant of the project suggested that 15 per household would do.
So if you go and give 3 or 2, the importation thing, the money we spend on, the sufficiency rate, how can we improve on that metrics? We can't. So for me, I've seen that, yes, these policies, in terms of paper, document, they are good. But the government is still struggling with the major flagship program initiatives. We are struggling. Today, 24-hour, one policy, different terminologies. If you name a policy in Kokon Ketenkete by itself, for me, it's not a good signal. In Kokon Ketenkete, it could have been any other name.
Oh no, it's nice.
It could have been.
Oh, but it's nice. Nkukon Ketenkete is nice. No. It's a catchy name.
It's catchy word.
Yeah, Nkukon Ketenkete.
And they are
small
Ketenkete for you.
Well, it's about the implementation challenge. Okay, let me bring you in.
Okay, thank you, Kojo. I think Doc has touched on a couple of the things I wanted to talk about. But let me, before I even get to the point, let me state that I have never used state money to buy a watch. And buying a $200 watch is no crime. I'm not one of the government officials who are wearing Frank Muller, Richard Mille, Philippe Patek and stuff like that on social media. We see them. I'm not one of them. But let me move on and talk about what is more important. Kojo, the Nkukon Ketenkete is a complete waste of state resources. Nothing more, nothing less. Because if you say that you are giving people Nkukon to rare, and you give them 2, what are they going to use it for? If not for them to just enjoy it. What business can anybody create with 2 chicken? What business? What sort of model is that? Prof was asking some questions. What was the target? What did we seek to realize from this whole enterprise?
Import substitution.
Another question. And Prof asked that question. What has been the result after a year? Has it been reduced? By what percentage? What is the savings that we've made? How much money have we invested in, and what is the benefit we have received as a result of that? What was the business model around this whole Nkukon Ketenkete, such that you give the people, initially we were told 50, reduced to 15, now to 2. Indeed, there was a video I saw from the Ahafo region where some party persons, NDC members.
But let's not make it seem as though it is 2 across board.
Allow.
Some people were giving
that's
5.
And that's what I'm saying. NDC members complaining that they went there for the Nkukon Ketenkete and they were given 1.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, that video, it was on TikTok. It was trending at the point. 1.
I haven't seen it.
Yes. So it just demonstrates the point that what government claimed it was going to do, total failure, they did not realize it. Could you ask yourself, 5 chicken, what are you going to do with that? Which business are you going to run with 5?
If they are layers, you could grow them. If they are broilers, then that's a
you don't even know what they are. Kojo, it is just unnecessary use of state resources. Apart from the fact that it's just to form part of the NDC sloganeering. Oh, Nkukon Ketenkete, 24-hour economy, free first year payment. Nothing is coming out of it. It is one of the things we were promised during campaign that has failed to give us any result. Have you forgotten they told us they were going to do Women's Bank? Where is it?
But one of them asked an important question. Yes, these families who have the beds, but for the beds, they would have spent money to buy
I want to address that. But I'm only making the point that the promises they made were not well thought through, not properly conceived, no implementation plan, and there were no system to ensure that they are giving results. I'm talking about Women's Bank. Where is it, Kojo? Fiasco. It didn't happen. They said they were going to pay cocoa farmers 7,000 a bag. What happened? They ended up paying them 2,500. They said they were going to do 24-hour economy. What has happened to the 24-hour economy? Now we are hearing stories. The 133, where did he go? vanished. No result out of that. They said they were going to fight Galamsey. The situation has gotten worse. Not a single one of them is giving us results. No one. They are only going on with mere rhetorics, not giving us any result. Do you know what Nkukwan Kitinkiti has turned into? It is now a Numuden Kitinkiti. Nkukwan Kitinkiti today is now a Numude Kitinkiti because the akukwa is given to you, you rear it, and you chop it. Precisely that is what is happening. Okay. Because according to the minister, Kojo allow. I listened to
my time is up.
Yeah. I listened to you last night on Newsnight.
Top story.
Top story, yes. With the minister. And Kojo, I was sad. You asked the minister, what is the success rate of the program? It says many of them have said that it has given us results. What is the test? How did they assess it to realize the benefit that has been achieved from this program? He says some people say, were there not a system to check as to whether or not the program was giving us results? No. The minister says they were basing on hearsay. What if somebody will call and say, hey, minister, at the end of the comfort top out, the people do not even know where to take the chicken to. And wait a minute. Who is going to take a transport with 2 chicken and go and say that he's going to sell it? And my goodness.
Thank you.
Complete waste of state resources. Is that what we are using our tax, hard-earned money to pay tax? Is that how it's being used?
Thank you. Let me give you, you've not spoken on this. Let me give you 2 minutes because my time is up. Let me give you 2 minutes on this.
Yeah, so
waste.
In this country, we are too quick to throw the tab together with the tab, you understand, together with the baby. Because I don't think we can have a debate that the which is part of Feed Ghana program, in terms of the idea, is an excellent one. You understand? Because we also ought to understand that it's part of, so there are 3 layers to. So the is the they call it the household and backyard poultry production. Then we have the Anchor Poultry Farmers Scheme, and then we have the farm to table poultry project, and together they seek to rebuild the entire poultry supply chain. So I think it's an excellent idea. Now, also, we also need to understand that, of course, the which is really the domestic one, we can't be giving people.
No, it's not domestic. It's part of, they were raised here, but they are not the domestic birds.
No, I'm not talking about domestic bird. I'm saying that it's a household and backyard poultry production.
Yes.
It's domestic.
Yeah, okay.
Domestic.
Okay, you
not
in that terms, okay.
You understand? And because of the nature of how chicken are grown, you shouldn't discount somebody being given to. You should be discount. No, you shouldn't discount it. No, you shouldn't discount. The 2 will become.
No, but Apia, when the project itself from conception said 50 per household when they were designing the project, and then they turned to 15. How can it be 2?
Exactly. So, no. It's a very fair and that's the beauty of accountability. So the minister ought to answer. But what I'm saying is that probably there's a reason, but we ought to ask the questions and he ought to answer us. But I'm just saying that if somebody has been given to, don't just say that because somebody has been given to is the total failure and waste of what's called resources. My personal view is that I think the minister was honest to come and tell the whole country that these are the challenges we are facing. I don't think the minister being honest will support a suggestion that we should throw away the entire project. Rather, you see, because the issue the minister was highlighting was probably an inability to create the marketing bit and sale bit of the project.
All right.
So let us deal with it instead of pushing an agenda. Instead of pushing an agenda, you see.
Okay.
See, just when you see, when we are implementing some of these interventions, I think we need proper planning. We need proper building of the structures. And that's why I do not support the people who criticize the 24-hour economy because they've done an act and they say they are creating the market because they have told you the entire.
Oh, as for the market, yeah. I'll take my time and one day debate you on that because I'm not saying if we are having 24-hour market in all places.
Say you could you let me provide information? Say you give me for so
no, me and you have a debate on that.
Probably I agree with you. What I'm saying is that what all I'm saying is instead of us throwing the whole project away, we have identified the problem.
Yeah, let's solve them.
Let's do
the
problem because
all right.
It's a bad idea.
Okay, all right.
The Women Bank, just yesterday, the finance minister said it was going to be realized in 2026.
2026, okay.
The 400 million has been paid. So
okay. All right then. So that's it. But you know what? Today is the birthday of a friend of mine, an uncle of mine who I go to always. He is a former assembly member for Abra electoral area in Hunter West. Honorable Anzi, today is your birthday. Honorable, may God bless you. Yankupo inshira no nyo kese onto nkwem na omo bibi osu or under akmadon ombre from. So Honorable Anzi Awabra, happy birthday to you in that Akosua today. Michina ndema ba mu abaja na maro Kenya amne maza ira na ye okizire awoda baba be e we ba monne di fufu na samba odo na madu e kan kole. All right.
There's a gentleman, his name is Aziz Ansan. Aziz Asaguna near Takwa. It's
Wasaguna.
Okay. Yeah. He watches your show every time. He says I should say hello.
Okay, Aziz. Yeah. Good morning to you, Aziz. Okay. All right. Let's end it here. Okay, now let me do this. Happy birthday to Evelyn Ochre and Chere Kweku Aweti of Makers House Chapel International. So Evelyn Ochre and Chere Kweku Aweti of Makers House Chapel International, happy birthday to you as well. Well, my guest, Professor Isaac Bwedi, Dean of the Faculty of Accounting and Finance, UPSA, Wanda Madilo, Development Analyst and member of the NDC's communications team, also Fifi Boafo, former Head of Public Affairs at Cocoa Board, and Andrew Apia Dankwa, Director of Legal and Constitutional Affairs for the United Party. Well, Global Prayer Work Summit 2026, when men pray, heaven responds. We say prayer still works, and there's the your invitation to experience the power of prayer. Join the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams and other anointed servants of God at the Action Chapel International Prayer Cathedral, Spintex Road, from Wednesday 15th to Friday 17th July. The Wednesday service starts at 5:30 p.m. Thursday 16 July features a morning service at 9 a.m. and an evening service at 5:30 p.m. Then on Friday 17 July, join the morning service at 9 a.m. followed by a powerful mega all night at 10 p.m. Come, expect powerful encounters under the theme Enforcing Victory. This event is free, but registration is required. So simply dial *426*29# on all local networks or register online via the GPWS registration page. Don't miss GPWS Accra 2026. Come and enforce your victory through prayer. Prayer still works. Well, we'll take a break here. We will be back with more Emefa. Adeti has some interesting conversations, on international relations and other matters here on the show. You stay with us.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park. Our electric shuttle pulled up and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown crane, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Prayer invites God. Prayer is an invitation and it's a divine summons that summonses God to step in the affairs of men.
What this conference has done for me is indescribable.
Now let the angels who excel in strength, who do his command, who hearken to the voice of his word, let them go to war and to work on my behalf. I say so. I am the Redeemer of the Lord.
And at the end, he said, you will testify. And I felt something shift.
I went back home and I couldn't sleep. It was like the prayer was locked up in my spirit.
Prayer is a weapon of enforcement. Enforcing what has been done. Praying about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That is not unbelief. That is enforcing the word, enforcing the will of God, superimposing the will of God over the forces of evil.
Everywhere the summit is, I will be there.
It doesn't matter what, prayer still works. Put your hands together, shout yes.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP Print Center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
This July, Ghana will host global downstream energy leaders, innovators, and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON 2026, to collaborate, exchange insights, and develop strategies and groundbreaking innovations through strategic dialogues. The event, held under the auspices of the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Junapo, is on the theme, Building a Resilient Downstream, Policy, Innovation, and Investment for Growth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, is our distinguished guest of honor. Speakers for the event are Mr. Godwin Kojo Tamaglo, Esquire, Chief Executive of NPA, Dr. Patrick Ofori, Chief Executive of Seaboard, Dr. Riverson Opon, Chief Executive of Comac, alongside other key captains of industry. Join us from the 16th to the 17th of July 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day at the Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach, Accra. We can't wait to host you.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. This is the AM show. Let's talk about the Ghana Sports Fund. Sure, yeah, shall we? Well, I'm joined in studio by the man who is leading the affairs at the Ghana Sports Fund. He's the administrator, Dr. David Kofi Waku. Let's get to understand a few things. What was the rationale behind government setting up that fund. Is there a little confusion between this one and what you know earlier was used to raise funds to support the Black Stars? I got that question when I said I was going to interview him. And so let's get some clarity again. What is his own vision so that by the time we are going for another tournament or another World Cup or any other sporting activity, what will be the real proof and tangibility of the sports fund? Doc, thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
Very well, thank you for asking. It's good to have you in studio.
Thank you.
How was the experience supporting the Black Stars outside the country?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I want to use the opportunity to say a very good morning to all Ghanaian, the great country, and also to use the opportunity to support the effort of cleaning Ghana today. The first question is about how does it feel as a nation supporting Black Star? I think it's a very good feeling. The World Cup, you see that the whole program is called campaigning for a World Cup. And it is a great opportunity for our country to participate in this campaign for the continuously for about 4 times. There are many countries in this world who has never have opportunity to participate on a large or that great platform, the greatest sports in the whole world before. We have opportunity to do that. And as a country, we should be proud of ourselves for Ghana having this opportunity. And as a people, we should all be happy seeing talents in Ghana being developed to that global platform and making it to compete with, the so-called top great nations. It is a great opportunity for me. I am happy to be part of this campaign and happy to support the Black Star to how far they have gone in this campaign.
We'll get into their performances and how what it reveals about our systems in sports in Ghana. But thank you so much for my souvenir. This is my souvenir that Doc brought me. It is the FIFA World Cup souvenir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
What is the Ghana Sports Fund? Should I put the meaning to it as it is, fund?
Yes.
Or if I go behind it, there's more to it. What exactly was the government seeking to achieve with this?
Okay, the wisdom and the rationale behind establishing Ghana Sports Fund. The Ghana Sports Fund is established from the Act of Parliament, Act 1159, 2025. This act was passed in December last year. And the rationale is to give a sustainable funding support to sport development for sport to become a platform for developing people or developing this country. Before then, it does not mean that sporting activities does not go on in Ghana. Sports go on, even from very fundamental level. Every village you go, you see people, our lifestyle is sports. In fact, I believe that the first activity of man is about sport, because for a child is born, by the time the arms or cry came out, it is exerting of muscles or making sure the system functions very well. That is all about sport. And sports now is being taken from activity level or hobby level to professional level. And beyond professionalism, bringing a revenue or an income to individuals, firms, and as well as the country. So before sports fund, successive governments or individuals or corporate bodies try to support funding of sporting activities. We are trying to be careful to use the word sports instead of football or a particular game, so that everybody will see himself or herself being part of this journey.
Okay.
Yes, so...
You say that it's to at least create a sustainable funding for sporting activities in Ghana. Is this to suggest that currently or before the establishment of this, the funding was not sustainable?
Yes.
How was the conventional way of funding?
Yes, the conventional way, as you know, for example, this World Cup, government committed some funds, one way or the other, to support the Black Star. There were funds that came from FIFA. There were funds, we're doing campaigning, soliciting funds from corporate bodies, individual people donating, and I want to use this platform to also appreciate all individuals, corporate bodies that supported, that donated freely to support this campaign. This kind of funding, it is not sustainable. You can't continue begging every day for a tournament. This is for a World Cup participation. What about how the team was put together, how talents were built together before participating? So the fund's objective is to really support sport, first from grassroots talent identification and developing through the talent path to elite sport.
Okay.
So you don't wait until there's a tournament, you put people together to go and participate.
Which seems to be the modus operandi for that's what we've been doing for years.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing for years. People struggle from their own ways, means and ways to get to. It is a very tedious way of building a system.
So the fund, let me in a bit. So what would you do? You would go out there, raise funds, and I'm going to ask the model you intend to use. When you raise the funds, are you going to be in charge of the distribution? Central point, is it going to, how do you intend to?
Okay, so just give me a little time to explain the whole process and what the Act provides so we can get a better understanding. In the Act, there's a provision for sources of funds. These sources of funds include government allocation into this fund. When we say fund, we are not just talking about putting money together somewhere and share to people. We are putting a system together to build fund, to build money, to build available resources so that it will be beneficial to sport development and sport for development. So government allocates regular money or funds or budgets into this fund. The law also provides that we do some other collaboration. For example, with national lotteries, we are developing a sports lottery that will be drawn regularly. Every revenue from that goes to build the fund. The fund allows that we take some percentages from player transfers, bonuses paid to international athletes, and many other things along such line. Some percentages will go to support this fund to build sport for development. And also, we are allowed to bring everybody on board, including corporate Ghana, and corporate Ghana is very broad. We are talking about businesses, we are talking about firms, we are talking about even faith-based organizations, as well as individuals, to all donate to this fund, to build the fund such that we can use to develop sports. How do we develop sport? Like I mentioned first, we identify talents from grassroots. In the wisdom of this government, a whole professor was appointed as to be in charge of grassroots sport development.
That's interesting.
Yes, so we're working together with all this team to make sure talents are identified, developed, and grow to elite sport. We are also allowed to help build infrastructures, sporting infrastructures. So we are talking about stadia. We are talking about maintenance of the existing stadia we have. We are talking about building new stadia across the country. We are talking about dealing or building a new or sports academies that will be national, that will help people to develop. We are talking about building recreational facilities across this country that people can participate in the recreational activities. So that is in the line of infrastructure development. The sports fund is also given a mandate to help in organizing or supporting international tournaments, like you are now talking about World Cup. So the next World Cup, the plan will be that government will not come raising fund like it used to be, or looking for fund to support.
Would you still draw from the statutory support, because the Act allows?
So sports fund is going to have a responsibility to deal with that. Whatever that is, sports fund has. So we will make a conscious budget provision for international tournaments. Like World Cup is 4 years. Ghana is participating. There will be enough provision.
There have been concerns
to organize that.
When you started, you mentioned that you're careful not to use football, but you like to use sports so that it covers the broad spectrum of our sports, right? But there's been concerns that no matter how much budget is allocated for sports, the Black Stars, or football particularly, seems to swallow nearly 80 or 90% of that allocation. Is this a genuine concern, or is just the architecture of sports? Football will always be the one taking the bigger chunk, or if you paid attention to other sides, we really would be able to see that they actually even need more?
Yeah, I believe that holistic development of sports it gives a bigger advantages to the country than focusing on one. So I'm carefully using the word sports instead of football. Yes, and there is no doubt also that football is not the biggest sports activity globally. All of us can attest to. Football is big, and football revenues from football, everybody can imagine. This World Cup participation, even for qualification, gives the country some money. Every level you progress to give the country some money. If we should be winning the cup, do you know how much you'll be making? Like $50 million if you are getting to those levels. So football, fine. Football is in its own class. We are going to develop boxing. We're going to develop athletes in many other fields. So it is not only football, and we are not in competition to see who is bigger, who is smaller. How do you help the smaller also to be seen as sports? This is what we are looking for. So this is why Sports Fund is there to look at. We will be concerned with technical development. So coaches and athletes, managers, anything that has to do with sport, it's under we have to deal with the fund. So that the fund will be able to take care of all that.
You mentioned maintenance of stadia.
Yes.
Tell me, is it a funding problem or it is an attitudinal problem?
Both.
Would you say that maintenance of our stadiums are expensive? Both,
It's both, because if funding is available and you have a good management, it can be done well. So it can be attitudinal, but if you have enough funding and you engage the right people to do professional work of maintenance or management. This is done in other parts of the world. Maybe if attitudinal and a group of people cannot do it well, you have the right to choose the right person to do it. But if you don't have the funding, it is also a big question. So both play, but I believe if there's funding, you have the right to engage a quality person to do the quality work for you.
I know that the fund was established in last year, but this year was when you took up the mandate.
Yes,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are right.
Have you done any? I know that you did a few activities in North America. Am I correct?
Come again?
I know that you did a few things when you traveled to support the Black Stars.
Yes, few things, fine. The fund, through some donations that came, made some available support to the World Cup campaign. Yes, beyond that, we're trying to build certain networks. We are trying to build a very resilient foundation for the fund. For now, that is our main focus because we don't have enough budget allocation to begin to do things.
Okay.
After the World Cup now, there's an Olympic game going on in Scotland, which is a burden on us as a fund to see how best we can support these athletes. About 40 athletes from Ghana are participating in that tournament. And there's another one coming in October or so in Senegal, one of these African countries. So this is a burden. We don't also want to just post ourselves as giving money for individuals or group of people just to go and participate. But we want to develop a system of tracking everything we are doing to have an impact, how much the funding arrangements we are doing is bringing an impact, is developing, it is making sure that every effort we are doing, bringing back the needed revenue or support to the country.
Right. Maybe finally, before I let you go, how you see, I see in the act that corporate Ghana can as well support. How can people support? How can corporate Ghana support you? And what will be in it for corporate Ghana?
Okay. Well, what is in it for corporate Ghana is that every donation you made to sports fund, you have a tax credit on such amount, which we are doing that arrangement with GRA to certify all who will donate. And corporate Ghana's participation, we are looking at it in two ways. The institution as a company or as a firm or industry, whatever class it is, makes donations to sports fund. In fact, our office is located as a World Trade Center, 9th floor in Accra, behind the British Council. If you need a better understanding or a more understanding of how you support the fund, you can visit us there. We are now setting up our systems, our websites, our lines, and all those things will be made very public. We are trying to set the structures very well. Our bank accounts, our USSD codes, and all those source or payment systems will be made available so people can donate. We will also be contacting individuals. For example, we go to GCB or BOG, we talk to the staff, we encourage people to donate regular monthly contribution of 5 or 10 cedis just to build sports and recreation for
since you mentioned that it's still at the teething stage, I'll wait. When the teeths are out, we can discuss other things that you want to chew on.
Okay.
Thank you so much for attending to our invitation in the studio. I wish you all the best as an administrator of the fund.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and we'll continue this campaign until sport is fully developed in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So away from sports and back to today's focus, the Ghana National Sanitation Day. I'm taking you to Chado now. My colleague Fatal Bayaga is on standby, but the President of the Republic is also arriving at Chado.
President John Dramani Mahama has arrived here at Chado to participate in the very important national activity, a cleanup exercise following the downpour that submerged parts of Accra on the 29th of July. 13 lives were told officially were lost as far as this flooding situation was concerned. Apart from that, thousands of other people were displaced in the process, and that's exactly the reason why the president has arrived here to, in a way, participate and observe this particular activity here at Chado. Chado, in fact, was among the towns or communities in Accra that were affected by this flooding situation. So you see the president there. You see the president there, the local government minister, the Accra regional minister or Greater Accra regional minister. It's also here to participate in the cleanup exercise. So that's the president. That's the president there who is inspecting the cleanup exercise here at Chado. And the president is receiving briefing from the municipal chief executive for the Kotopo Municipal Assembly. So the president is taking briefing from the president, or the president is taking briefing from the MC. You also see the Greater Accra Regional Minister in there. You see the local government minister who is also part of this particular inspection tour being conducted by the president here at the moment. As I speak with you, military officers and other security officials were here as early as possible to clean up the places, many of the places around this area. And at the moment, the debris, the refuse are being evacuated after the cleanup exercise here. And this is not just the only place that the president will visit. The president would generally take a tour of many of the places here in Accra that the national activity is currently being taking place. Let me speak with some residents about your cleanup exercise. Who want to say?
What's it?
Cleanup exercise. Who want to say?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thank you very much. So the president is still taking briefing from the MC for this particular area as he walks alongside the Greater Accra Regional Minister, who I engaged earlier. And basically she said that this is not the only thing that they are doing. Some homes situated along, waterways are being demolished. You mentioned Weja and other areas that at the moment are being demolished, just to, in a way, help in mitigating the flooding situation across the capital. So you see the president there. You see the president there engaging the regional minister and the other officials who are here. Let me talk with some of the residents. What would you say about this particular cleanup exercise?
I don't understand.
So at the moment, the residents, some of them will not comment on it, but some of them basically holding brooms and other equipment and participating in this particular cleanup exercise here. So you see the president there basically looking at what is being done so far in relation to this cleanup exercise. So that's the Zoom line official briefing the president about the cleanup exercise. And I've seen a number of their trucks here that are carrying the refuse from this particular place after the officials were able to clear the various drains that were closed. So the president himself is using a shovel to, the president himself is using a shovel to clear some of the debris that were removed from the drains here. So you see the president doing that effortlessly as the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu looked on, and also the Minister in charge of local government. I also I also see the municipal chief executive for this area, all of them standing by the president. Now the president is looking at something and also taking briefing from Zoom Lion, Mr. Sia Ajapon. He is continuing to do that again here at Chado. And this, according to the government, is very key in terms of solving or mitigating the flooding situation within this area in Accra and across 7 regions of the country. You remember, just on the 29th of June, when this particular situation happened, many parts of the country, including the central region, were submerged or inundated by floodwaters. And according to the government, this is an important or a pivotal step in terms of helping to mitigate or, in a way, curtail the heavy floods in the capital. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu, earlier told me that apart from this, in fact, what they are trying to do in order to sustain this particular activity is to make sure that. So let me take my microphone there so that the president would.
UTV on the mic. UTV on the mic. We'll give you sound after. Just relax. Just be patient. Okay. All the way there. I said quality for Malik after. I said it. Ali. Management companies will be able to keep this city clean and also free of flooding. So thank you everybody who came for this exercise. Thank you.
So that is the president there. Taking briefing, but the local government minister is here. Honorable, thank you very much. You are live on Joy News. What will be your impression so far about this cleanup exercise?
The impression is that the turnout has been very tremendous, and I'm so happy. And the kind of what we are doing is the awareness has been very intensive. So I strongly believe that if we continue like this, we will be getting somewhere.
But for many, it's the sustainability of this particular activity. Yesterday you spoke vehemently about how you intend to do and all of that, but what would you do generally to ensure that this activity is sustained?
Generally, the president himself has agreed will set up a committee to go into the problem and come out with lasting solutions to it. So because of that, as an individual, it will not be good to be preferring solutions when you know that a technical group is going to meet to go deeper into the issue.
But is cleanup exercise alone enough to mitigate the flooding? In fact, people are talking about demolition structures on waterways. How many structures have you earmarked based on the information that you have?
In fact, the encroachment analysis has been done, figures are there, the technical figures are there. Garrett has done intensive work. We know there are thousands and thousands of structures. And because of that, demolition, desilting, clean up, it's a multiple effort that is going to be put up. But the technical group will not be comprised of a approach.
Minister, we'll still get in touch. So the president is still here at Chado, just observing the cleanup exercise so far, and receiving briefings from the various officials who are here. You remember that this place obviously was one of the areas affected by this flooding situation, and that's exactly the reason why the president has come here to monitor the activity. But the problem no way.
Problem no Obia sida wa gota ni guna. Obia sida wa gota ni hoda. All the problem is this BNA. Is for guna So go there. The river is there. The river there need bring in the washing. So go there. There you're having going. If you wait, you have 980 here. The problem is here.
All right, thank you very much. So this one basically is saying that there's a building that is situated on one of the drains here, and that needs to be, removed in order to mitigate the flooding situation here. But the president is still monitoring the work that is being done, and also engaging the the regional minister and the other officials who are right here. You can see some police officers and military officers in the drain trying to remove some of the waste, including sand in the drain, in order that when the floodwaters come, they will be able to flow freely through this particular area. And this is not just the only place that this activity has been done. It's been done across many places in the capital and beyond. It's because the government says that it is time to save lives from flooding situation. But your my uncle said, yeah. But your clean up exercise. We won't say.
Oh, more idea. Yeah, respect say, basa and quality yanka. Yeah, to see idea. The way I did buy pronti. Namasa bus straight there. Yeah, nim. Oh, na problem no nyina ya face one. Nye, and second day no. Problem no nyina wo laboma. Omu bebia anla de onu omo sidanu bi asiwo onu na stop e ma yenya problem no so call entumi nko o laboma actually anu kwali de da ho e o laboma any esopa opposite ni nya da ho se bibi be sha se a ye pe ye wo bi su ha na enye nti we puncture musha sadia ni na say meeting ne laboma.
All right, thank you very much. The president is done inspecting the exercise here, and he is moving to another area where the cleanup exercise is currently ongoing. here at Chado. So the president is still engaging the municipal chief executive for this particular area, Adeti Kotopong, receiving briefings in relation to what is being done in relation to this nation exercise. For many of the residents, even when clear the waste in their homes and various marketplaces, they struggle to get places to dump the waste, all of that. But I spoke with the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Okulu, who basically said that many of the landfill sites have now been, and very soon all challenges would be. So basically, he is still taking a walk around this area. Let me go in and continue to engage the local government minister. So, Minister, tomorrow you'll still be here?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll go to the other areas. But we are doing it both today, tomorrow, and it will continue. For the general public, it's a 2-day program. But until we cut all or evacuate all the debris, we are not stopping.
Minister, I don't know what you intend to do in order to make the laws bite hard, because for many of the people, even the cleanup exercise is done, they will come back, still dump refuse and all of that. What do you think would be done now to ensure that it prevents people from doing that?
In fact, it's a multiple of factors that we are doing. The cleanup, the cutting, the organic one, you convert it into compost for fertilizer. Then the plastic one, you recycle them for reuse. So we are combining the transfer stations, the landfill site, and recycling and compost. We do that so that you will not be too much waste to the. You are just sweeping and dumping. Those you are dumping, if care is not taken, when the place is flooded, the water will bring it back. So clearly, I think after this, serious measures are going to be put in place. And serious thinking is going to go into it. And serious investment will also be done into it. So it is going to be a multi-sectoral approach, and the problem will be solved.
But the concerns of, the landfill sites being full and all of that.
The president has agreed that we will do a new one, and the finance minister has also agreed, and there will be a new landfill site, a new transfer station, and the old transfer stations are going to be reactivated. The president himself has spoken to them. And once the transfer station, today, when he said, for today and tomorrow, they've opened.
Well, thank you for staying with us. So we shall be bringing you every event that is happening today. But quickly, let me have a conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Bar, the branch of the GBA, the Ghana Bar Association. I've got the Vice President here, Andrew Apal Obeng, is joining us. I've also got Joel Ano Aferi. He's Secretary for the Greater Accra Regional Bar. Bernard Nene Agote is Assistant Secretary, Greater Accra Regional Bar. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen that you have been quite busy. You're preparing for your Law Week. I like to think it starts today. Let me start with you. What's this year's theme? What is the celebration about?
Okay, so this year's theme is about corporate governance. And the specific theme is corporate governance rebooted, from rules to transformation. And just to put it in context, we took over sometime last year, and we decided that we wanted to have a regional bar that is more dynamic and responsive, one that is people-centered, with a mission to provide strategic leadership for the members in the region. And so we ensure that our programs are tailored to meet our core objectives for which we were put in power. So that is why this year we've chosen for our Law Week to focus on corporate governance.
Okay.
Corporate governance because lawyers, we serve in almost every boardroom that we have in this country. And it's important that our members are well prepared to ensure that we are able to course correct. In other words, we are in there to safeguard the directors of these institutions and ensuring that they go by the rules. But what we do is that we always call ourselves learned men. So we continue to learn. So this particular conference, we have a day that we are going to ensure that we meet very experienced people from academia and diverse backgrounds to ensure that we sharpen our tools to be able to serve our clients better. So,
okay.
Sure.
It looks like a well thought through week for the association and the new leadership. You took over last year?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so tell me, it's going to be a long week activity, right? It starts today. Is there anything happening today? What happens the next day and all of that?
Yes. So as my vice president was saying, as part of our vision and mission, we've also decided to have meaningful community engagement. And as part of our work, a lot of us do a lot of criminal defense, for instance. And it's very interesting to note that for most of our activities, the most popular, which lawyers volunteer their time for, is our legal outreach. So we'll be between the 10th and the 13th, we'll be having prison case support. This is not a mere visit to the prisons. We'll be going to Insawam. We identify cases and individuals who need our support, and then we'll take up their cases. Okay. And this would not just end between the 10th and the 13th, but would go on way after, because it might involve some processes in court and so on.
Today's 10th. Does that mean it's starting already? Do you have a team at some prisons already? Yes. Okay. And it ends this particular event?
So that's for the 10th and 13th.
Okay.
But because of the cleanup going on, we're going to have another program in the markets.
Okay.
In the Makola market, but that has been postponed to the 18th.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because of the cleanup.
Yes,
what kind of program did you intend to have at the
legal clinics? Okay, so that would also be legal clinics. Will be going out there. The judiciary is also celebrating its the Supreme Court its 150th anniversary, and in collaboration with the Judicial Service, we intended to go out into the market and educate the women on their basic rights.
Okay.
And then that would also involve identifying some cases, and then there will be follow-ups to assist.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. Nana, I recall that I had a conversation with you last year. How did last year go?
Last year was great.
Okay.
Last year we had over almost 1,000 of our members joining in the celebration. This year, just like we did last year, we also have a flagship conference, one-day conference, which is taking place on the 14th of July. The venue is the Physicians and Surgeons, College of Physicians and Surgeons. And the keynote speaker is Engineer Professor Douglas K. Boatin, and he'll be speaking on the theme for the week, which is Corporate Governance Rebooted.
Okay.
We are hoping that all our members within the region, we have about 7,000 members, 7,000 to 8,000 members in the region. We are hoping that all of them would be able to attend.
So this one-day conference, what is the focus on?
Sorry?
The one-day conference you're telling me about, what's the focus?
The focus is on training ourselves. So as lawyers, we are required to undertake a certain number of hours of CPD.
What's that?
Continuous legal education. So that after law school, you are not just sitting in your office working, but from time to time, you improve on yourself, you abreast yourself with new happenings in the law. Okay. And so we organize these sessions from time to time. But as a regional group, we organize this conference once a year where we bring so many people together to be able to share ideas, learn new things that have come up within the year, cases that have been decided.
Okay.
We get to discuss them together, what is happening in industry. We get to also know about it. Then together we'll be able to share ideas and learn more.
If you're not a lawyer, but you're curious about these things you're talking about, am I allowed to attend?
Yes.
Or it's strictly for lawyers?
Well, not. This is designed for our members, the members of the Greater Accra Regional Bar.
Okay.
But of course, it is open for academics, law students. We have slots for a few law students who will be invited, all that.
Vice President, what has been the pros and cons in trying to put this event together for this? It's a week event, except the nuance of the Makola, where Makola markets, where you have had to take it to 18th, right? Okay.
Overall, it's been well received.
Okay.
I mean, our members appreciate the need for continuous improvement and sharpening of skills. I mean, nobody will hire you if you are not abreast with the latest development in the law. No one will put you in any serious corporate boardroom if you are not abreast with the requirement for due diligence, the need for independent decision making, and giving the right advice that would ensure that they achieve their corporate objectives. So last year the patronage was huge. This year people are signing on. We continue to sign on. So our members really appreciate it. Okay. And as he said, we are going to give certificate for participation. Because these are because the kind of people that we are bringing together, they are rich in terms of experience. And we want also have to bridge intergenerational gap. We have young lawyers who are coming up, so we bring in the most seasoned ones, seasoned in the industry, seasoned in practice, seasoned in academia. We have breakout sessions where we have the opportunity to dialogue with them and continue to exchange ideas. The point about what we are doing here is that sometimes society does not know the difference between a young lawyer and an experienced or old lawyer. So what happens is that these sessions will help you to bridge the gap so that if you have any appointment and wherever you go, you discharge yourself very well. So training is key to every lawyer. We are not done with learning when you leave the classroom. In fact, legal work is such that you will need your course outline. The one thing that you continue to learn for the rest of your life, following up the new trends in the law and all that. But we are being specific because industry is key. Because if industries are run well, if the corporate bodies are made well, it works well for the entire society. When society prospers, everyone prospers. Okay. And when we sharpen our skills, it works best for all of us. Sure.
So for lawyers who are watching us now and want to be part of the Law Week celebration, they must be registered?
Yes. Okay. So to register, almost all lawyers, I'm sure, have received either a message from the bar by way of text message or an email or WhatsApp or on the WhatsApp platforms with the flyers.
Okay.
So all they need to do is to click on the flyer. There's a QR code which will lead them to the portal, and they will have to register to participate. That's all it takes.
Okay. Well then, Joel, maybe you take the final words, invitation, special invitation. You can look into our camera.
Yes.
3 seconds, yeah.
Okay, so yes, we are very grateful to Multimedia for giving us this
Something made it happen, by the way.
Yes, and I must say we are grateful to him and his work with the legal clinics as well. Yeah, so we want to thank Multimedia first and foremost, and then we acknowledge also MTN and Piva Water for supporting us with this event.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Joel and Andrew, thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the celebration.
And you're invited.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, you're very kind. Well, so that'll be all. We are wrapping, but stay with Joy News. We definitely will be bringing you every activity that's happening across the country. I'll still see you at 12 o'clock for the midday bulletin. I am Emefa Akosua Adeti.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury goodness, the treat you deserve every day.
Difficult bounce for the American defense to deal with. And has scored! A wonderful volley!
The stadium is alive! The fans are roaring and the excitement has officially kicked off. It's Gold Rush season at Ghana. This World Cup season, the match isn't just on the pitch. It's happening right in your home. Build your home stadium with world-class cinematic TVs, powerful sound bars, and home theaters, high-power speakers, laptops, tablets, and projectors for the ultimate streaming. Ghana is delivering unbeatable deals, not just discounts, but a chance to win 100-inch 4K smart TVs, mobile phones, laptops, and many more. Just purchase items 1,000 Ghana cedis and above, and automatically enter the raffle draw. Shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call on 0302 752020. Go Rush season, the ultimate football experience. experience only at Compute Ghana.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults, this price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It has been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Through